what happened there, but
It looks like we're in today, lads.
Looks like we're in, innit? Just looks like we're in. Listen, technical difficulties at the back. But listen, big up to everyone. Boom, what's going on? Back again on the JJ's World Cup show. Myself, G, Romz, Ish, and Jamie. Got the full squad in the building today, as promised. As we always say, please make sure you're smashing the like, make sure you're hitting the comments, make sure you're engaging with us in the chat as well. And yeah, just keep it all PG, keep it all PG, people. But
oh
wow, he looks like
that was me for a minute.
There is frozen.
Anyways, we'll continue till Jerry comes back. Guys, how's everyone doing though, man? How's everyone feeling today after today's kind of World Cup performances? Few good games in there and all that. What's everyone saying?
Ghana woke me up.
Yeah, one word, bro. One word. Ghana.
They woke me up, man. They woke me up. Brazil put me asleep. Brazil put me asleep. Brazil was the greatest ASMR I've ever seen in my life today. That was just pure, man. They are boring. What's happened to Brazil? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you know what it is with Brazil? I feel like, well, you know, we'll dive into them obviously. Anyway, the first game of today, obviously I didn't get to really see. I just saw the goals kind of thing. So guys, talk to me about Cameroon versus Serbia.
I didn't actually watch this game. I didn't know it was on.
I saw it. It was a good game still.
Yeah, I just saw that bit of it. Sorry, go on, Ish.
No, I was just gonna say it was a good game still. It was a bit similar to the Canada game yesterday. Croatia. It was a bit similar to that. Like Cameroon kind of took the lead, kind of against the run and play, and then like stoppage time in the first half. Serbia just got two back, just boom, just bagged two real quick. My man got the second one. Milinkovic-Savic got the second one.
Yeah.
But the Cameroon defending, bruv, it was mad because obviously the coach dropped Onana in it before the game.
Does anyone know why?
Bro, yeah. So he basically it's kind of joke still. They had an argument in it because he was playing out the back too much, and I thought that in the first game, like he was getting the ball. Yeah. He was ahead of the centre back. The centre back was behind him, covering him, and he was just out in defence, just popping ball with like he had a good game. He had a good game, but I was thinking, yo, this is a bit mad. Like, especially international football, the keeper's coming out far. Yeah. The defenders behind him, it didn't make sense, did it? So apparently the coach had to go. The coach got into him. It looked mad. The coach got into him over that, and then apparently they were just having it out over that. And then,
well, I've seen just now, like, as I was watching this game just now, and I've just seen about Cameroon have put out the FA have said, they suspended him.
He cut. He's gone. Apparently he was asking like, why is Samuel Eto'o there? Like what's he doing? What's his reason for being there? Because he's like a FA like official or something like that.
He's just like their ambassador.
Yeah, my mum was just asking like, what are you doing here, bro? Like,
I'm the king of Cameroon. I'll do what I want.
For real, bro. You can't tell him nothing, bro. You can't tell him nothing. So yeah, he had to cut. But the keeper that came in today, both goals, the first two goals, I was like, I think Onana's saving them, you know. I think Onana's saving it. The second one was some P-roller, bro. The second one was some next P-roller. Like, it was mad. But after that, patterned up, and then Abubakar. When he came on second half, bro, do you not see his finish?
Yeah, I saw the finish. I definitely saw the finish. Because I was thinking, because I thought even when he scored it, I was like, nah, he's on. Like you can see that he was on side.
Bro,
like,
man did no celebration. Like, yeah, this is normal. This is
he thought. He just thought.
This is what I do. Then he bagged the assist as well for the equaliser. So his sub coming on changed the game, bro. Changed the game.
Yeah, 100%. Apologies, guys. This my computer's acting up. The mouse pad not really working. It's just shutting down on me. If it shuts down again, then apologies. I will all have to use my mobile device. But as Ish you were talking about, man, Abubakar, why did he not start?
Bro, I thought he was like 35 or something. I thought he was like a
no.
Bro, man's 30.
Yeah, he just touched 30.
He's cool, 30, but he could start games like that. I don't know what was going on. I don't know why he didn't start, but
I don't know. But the manager in it, he just looks like he's got like an ego problem as well. You know, like Onana just said to him, like the back or something, and Breda was like, "No, we're not doing that, bro." They had a beef about it. He's like, you're not in the team.
I would understand if Onana had a bad game, but the first game he was good, bro. He was good.
That's what I assume. And this is where
Africa's best keeper at the moment.
Yeah, Mendy's on fuckery,
Yeah,
bro.
Mendy's just I'm not including him. But at the moment, he's solid. He kicks well. Do you know what I mean? He's good with his feet. He come from La Masia, innit? So
yeah. Then when Ajax, bro,
and then when Ajax, so his schooling is a
thing
bit
is
better
nice,
than anyone
bro.
else.
Barca and Ajax, that's like the two best footballing education you can get.
But okay, cool. So if we're saying that, obviously we know, cool, he's a good keeper. He's probably the best African keeper, especially at this tournament. But when you go against the manager's wishes, obviously, you know what I mean? Like, there's only one way, I guess,
he didn't go against the manager's wishes. It's not like he went and played in the game and then done something mad. They were having a debate about it, which is fair. Like, you should be able to go and do that.
But you know how these African elders
almost cost him. And do what's mad? When that second goal went in, Rigobert's song, do you see the look on his face? He was like, I messed up, you know.
Bro, it was such a savable shot, bro.
It looked like a sucker punch.
It was such a savable shot. It was mad. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, karma. Karma is appearing at this World Cup because see how Suarez is moving as well. Suarez is looking rubbed. And like, don't know, the Ghanaian Juju that they banged after 2010 is coming to fruition.
Come on, man.
Because I can't even get a start right now. It's mad. It's mad.
Yeah, it's crazy. But look, man, Serbia though, in that first, obviously they conceded set piece, and then after that they were cooking, man. They were cooking hard. Tadic, Mitrovic, all the itches just itching together.
Mitro was
all the itches.
He was moving like Bobby mixed with flipping. I don't even know what, bruv.
Yeah, like a strong, yes.
It was like Drogba and Bobby. It was mad. It was mad.
People just assume because he's big and like that target man, he's not techie. He's had feet. He's actually had feet.
It's true.
We know what he done to Verge. We knew. That's when I realized he had feet. When he span him on the edge of the halfway line, and I was like, eh? Verge was doing all of this. I saw the ponytail flailing at the back. I was
like, you know the little baby hairs, bro, all coming through.
My Serbia stocks there. I might
they're bottom. I'm looking now at the bottom of that group.
I might have to sell them because
he ain't getting any peas back, bro.
They got 2 points.
They getting no money back like that.
He's selling
they got 2 points.
Just to see.
They got 2 points at 1 point.
Serbia's not there still. Like other own.
They got 1 point.
I'm gonna have to cut my losses, bro, because you know what it is? I had them at least. I had them in my dark horse, so quarterfinals maximum. I had them at least round 16. Win. Well, depends who they face, but I had them at least making.
I think Serbia go through.
The last 8. Who?
I think Serbia still go through. I think they beat Switzerland in their last game, and Brazil beat Cameroon.
No, they drew.
I don't think Switzerland.
Serbia lost against Brazil, and they drew today. So
yeah, they only need to win.
Everyone in that group can still go through.
Everyone can still go through.
Yeah, Serbia can still go through, innit?
But who do Serbia have to play?
Serbia got to play Switzerland in their last game.
They'll beat them. They'll beat them.
What if
Switzerland look hard
to
break
down, man. Switzerland are I'll tell you that much, boy.
Switzerland, in comparison to what Serbia did in that game, Switzerland will give it to them a bit more. Like, attacking.
But you know what? I think if Serbia played England tomorrow, I think Serbia's winning, you know?
That's what I tweeted it and I got corned, but I actually believe
Serbia's winning. The midfield, bro, they were popping. And I know Cameroon, the defending, I don't know, Jerry, you watched the game in it. The defending was a bit. It was mad fugazi in that first
Cameroon, all the African, bar Morocco that have been solid, all the African teams have had the bozo moments.
No, but I think Cameroon's the worst. I'll be real. I think Cameroon might be the worst.
Cameroon, every single player is a bozo. Every single player.
Bro, it's like a mid-off in the midfield, bro.
Listen, all of them. Mbomo, you had, Nkudu, George Kevin Nkudu on the left. You had, they're all just, they've all of them, you look at them and you're like, you can see the penalty at any moment. At any moment, bro.
Hey, the way I look at this group, I'm laughing.
Why is it always the centre backs?
Because the stereotype's real. Because the stereotype's real.
Yeah, that's what you need to concentrate.
I'm proving the stereotype's real. Look what Salisu did today. We'll get on to that game. Look what Salisu did today.
Both goals, he got the second goal. He got dunked on.
All of them. Amate running around. Do you know what I mean? Just what are you doing?
I'm looking.
Even Labty now. He's got the gene now as well.
Yeah, he has for real.
He just accidentally picked it up whilst he was there on international duty, and that's the problem. These guys are
when you pick it up, it's like certain illnesses, man. They just never go away, bro.
Yeah,
it's just in you, bro. Do you know what I mean? You can mask it all you want, but it's something you've got to declare. You just got to declare that. Look, you've got the bozo gene in it.
That's crazy.
You know us. You see Serbia. The only reason why I'm worrying that because I knew them attacking there's no problem. They got goals. Even Blahovic, he's playing this tournament quite injured. Don't you think he came on today, did he? Because I only got second half. Yeah. He's not even been introduced. He's nursing an injury, but defensively, for them to concede 2 goals in quite quick succession, I thought,
It was good. You know what though?
But it's so weird because Serbia against Brazil looked like they were defensively. Like, that was what they were based on.
Yeah,
they went for it a bit more. They were going for it a bit more this game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe
you know what,
a game.
I need to watch going for it, but you wouldn't think they would concede 2 to that Cameroon.
You know what it is though? You know what it is though? I need to watch the goals back, but I feel like the first goal, the lob. I'm sorry, that's just a moment of genius, bro. Like, you can say the keeper shouldn't have come out, but you don't think he's gonna do that. I'm sorry, you don't think he's gonna just scoop it over man's head. That was crazy.
In the moment, everything slowed down. It was Abu Bakr at 10 years old. I mean, in
and he looked offside as well. He looked
exactly, and he had the jelly flip flops and just flicked it over man's head with his foot in it. Like
that was a crazy goal.
So many times.
That was a crazy goal.
You know, if you pre it like. It doesn't make sense. Like, normally you scoop it with like your instep of like your laces. Done it like
I don't think he meant it.
I was thinking,
he did. Because there's nothing else you could do in that situation. Like, he didn't try and round the keeper. He blatantly tried to He saw him off his line. As like, you know what?
What's mad though? The keeper's not short. You know,
he's a big
dude. 6'8". Like,
he's a big dude. That goal is a nuts goal, man. It was a nuts goal.
You know what? It's arguably a goal of the tournament. It's arguably it's up there. It's in the conversation. It's in the conversation.
I still think Enzo Fernandez. For me,
it's Richarlison so far. It is Richarlison.
Oh shit! Yeah. I'll go with Richarlison, Enzo Fernandez, then that one.
For me, it's Casemiro.
You know what it is? When I was you know what it is? If it didn't take that deflection, then I would have said,
Casemiro's was go with the goalkeeper.
I feel like the keeper would have had a block on that.
I need to watch it again. I thought he literally just, when you kind of come across it and it just
came off his arm.
The deflection took it into the top corner. Otherwise, it was straight. That it was going in the roof.
Cool. No. I revert that.
But I think when I look at Serbia, obviously with Abu Bakar's goal, like I just think like when I saw it, it just looked like Serbia were trying to play that high line. So where they're now getting caught with that line, obviously they
in their remind you of G. I'm joking.
But no, you know what it is? You know why I allowed them though? Because they were trying to win the game though. They were trying to when we do it, Romz, we're just doing it off some foolishness. We're just passing the ball around like stupidly, like. But they were actually trying to score. They were trying to win the game, and that's why I was like, you know what? There's ways to lose.
When you've got fucking in your midfield, you can do a high line. When you've got fucking bozos in your midfield, you can't be doing these high lines, man. But I feel like what he's saying is true, man. Like they just seem like, because it was Cameroon, of course, obviously, come on now, man. Cameroon, they're not thinking Brazil, so they can do that high line. So let's try to get the ball quicker to Mitrovic, obviously up top. So that high line squeezed them in that kind of way. Then they felt like they'll be all right to just pen them in their half,
which they kind of were doing. Let's be real. There were times Cameroon they weren't doing that. There were times when Cameroon were boxed in their own.
100%. They were super boxed in at a point, and that's why I thought. And also give credit to Cameroon, because I'm like, you know what? For you to come back, remember, this is not a shit side that you're talking about. This ain't like you're playing like a South Korea where you're almost like, I've got enough to kind of get back in the game because they're not going to be that good. This is against a good Serbia side, like, you know what I'm saying? Like where Brazil also had a tough game against them, in the previous match. So I give them credit. I can't even lie. I give them credit.
Yeah. You got for getting into the game, you got 100% give them credit. It's just when you look back, especially in that first half, Mitrovic missed like 3 gilt-edged chances. Like they could have been like 5-1 up.
Yeah.
I mean, it was looking like Cameroon were just going to be.
They were getting smacked up, bro.
Yeah, they were
smacked up.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. So, but you know what? Like you can't. Like I said, they set pace in it. They set pace for today in it. They set pace for today because then obviously the 1 o'clock kickoff after that, Ghana.
Ghana. Good game. Game of the
day. Jordan De Ayew.
Bro,
Kevin De Ayew.
That is
Kevin De Ayew.
You know what?
The 2 assists from Kevin De Ayew. Yes, he's taken Kevin De Bruyne's place in the World Cup. Ridiculous passes. Ridiculous. ridiculous. I mean, yeah, Ish, chat to us about that game, man. I know you were sitting there, the super malt in hand. Do you know what I mean?
Drop me out, bro. Drop me out. Super malt, bro. I'd rather go thirsty, bro. I'd rather go thirsty, bro. See, you know when you're swallowing, you're just swallowing saliva like that, bro. That's me, right? That's me right here. That's me right. But yeah, the game was sick, bro. The game was sick. It was looking like talking of Bozo Gene, it was looking like Ghana fully activated it, bro. Fully activated it. 2-0 up. Went up in a nice fashion. I was like, when the second goal went in, I was like, this is going too smoothly, bro. Because there was still time left in the game. There's still so long left in the game. I was like, yeah, if South Korea get one, it's peak. And lo and behold, got back into the game. 2 pretty similar goals as well. They got back into it. I think Salisu both times they got dunked on, innit? It was him both times.
No, where it was both, but I think it was Salisu and then who got dunked on? There was someone else. I think it was Gideon Mensah, innit?
The second one was bad. The second one
was Gideon Mensah that actually got manhandled, but Salisu was underneath, innit? Salisu was underneath.
The second one, my man.
Gideon had a good game other than that, you know. He's got the same last name as me as well. I thought Gideon had a good game.
But yeah, man, it was. Listen, it was a great finish. From is it Cho, isn't it? It was Cho, the Korean striker.
Yeah, got a brace.
Yeah, got a brace, man. Got a brace, and it was looking scary for a minute. I was just thinking, this is where we head out. Do you know what I mean? Like they're gonna come back. Like it's over. Do you know what I mean? We get goals, and we're just there for vibes as per usual, innit? Just there with that in the stadium, and that's all you're gonna get.
Just making up fucking noise for no reason, bro.
Exactly, that's all you're gonna get.
You can't relax watching Ghana, you know.
Never.
7 minutes later, Iñaki Williams with that dummy was the best dummy I've seen, man. Just the over to let it run through Kudus.
Iñaki Williams, that's G. I've said it. That's G with hair. He looks like G.
We need to talk about Iñaki Williams though, because he's crap. Like I'm sorry, but
but
he's free.
I actually think it's not. Do you know what it is? Because I'm seeing his game, and there was periods. You see, I think in that game when he's running at the defense and he beats that 3 man and then slides it out wide. Also, when he goes and link up or he's chasing the play, he actually allowed us to expand. Do you know what the problem is when he's in front of goal? When I've deeped it, my man went and parred off Ghana for so long for not playing. Every time he's in front of goal, he just.
Bro, it's the ancestors. They won't allow it. Look how man slipped. They will not allow it.
Like he's there thinking, "Oh my God, what am I doing?" Because everything else he's actually doing quite well. Like everything else he's actually doing decent. But when it comes in front of goal, like this brother, like that little flick. Listen, if Kudus wasn't behind there and scored, I don't think he ever plays for Ghana again.
Of course,
that'll be up there. I'll put that in the same bracket as the Navigator shot against.
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, you know what? I'm done with you, bro. I don't want to see you again. Like, just leave it. Just leave. Just go.
And it's just that when you watch him, it's such a weird one. Like someone, obviously, I was in another group chat, and obviously the bare Ghanaians obviously in that chat, and they were saying like, who would you rather have in these kind of positions? And obviously we don't have him, so of course it doesn't really matter. But someone either Inaki or like an Eddie Nketiah. I was like, I'll take Nketiah every damn day of the week. Because
I thought Inaki Williams was Spanish. He is Bilbao, weren't he?
No, his brother plays for Spain.
His brother
plays for Spain, but obviously they are Spanish. They were born in Spain.
Yeah,
he played for Ghana.
No,
he's had a couple caps for Spain, but.
I mean, it doesn't matter where
his story's quite mad, you know. His story's quite. Didn't his parents like walk from Ghana or something like that?
They literally did. They did. Like, they walked and got like.
Listen, everybody walking. But freaking walking stuff. Anyways, when I look at, I don't even care about all that. When I look at Inaki Williams and I'm watching him,
just stop talking for a second, bro. I'm trying to carry.
I keep saying that.
I said walking a hype. I don't care, bro. Man said
listen, you know what it is? I'm tired of bare people's sob stories. Like I hear too many of these sob stories about, you know what? When I heard Matty Cash the other day, I used to work for River Island, brother. So you're getting me bagging on about like how I used to work over there.
It's so irrelevant, isn't it? It's so irrelevant.
It's so irrelevant. Like you're kicking ball, making 200 bags a week. Do you think I care about what you were doing before? Yeah, these times I'm here analyzing you, what you're doing.
Sometimes it's nice to hear someone's.
You know what I mean? Don't like that, bro.
What story do I need to hear about a guy?
Hey, remember that? You know, G would never get a job at like BBC Stories. You know, they got the documentaries that
So when Sterling's always saying, me and my sister, I'll finish school, I'll get the 182.
The buses.
The same thing. Listen,
it's always the buses.
Same bus. The same bus Raheem Sterling was jumping onto from the same end. Same bus he was jumping on is the same bus I'm jumping on to go all the way to North to go kick ball with Arsenal. You don't hear me banging on about that every damn stream. Listen, I'm still here analysing him. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get there. So I'm not worried about these bad stories, bro. But now we'll just
you're saying Eddie Nketiah over Iñaki. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because of the movement of the type of player. And in our attack, I feel like that's a player that Ghana would love to have up top, because when you see Kudus go a bit more further forward, he's a guy with a lot of movement, and he's a guy in those attacking areas. He just makes things happen. If you got someone like an Nketiah there as well, oh my days, like he's definitely someone who just with his movement. Forget obviously, I feel like he'd still be a better finisher than Iñaki anyway, but his movement alone.
Do you not think Inaki's movement is the thing that's why he plays? Because I thought he was, in terms of movement, I thought his movement was actually very good. Like the runs he was making, the spaces he was opening up for Kudus to go and attack and stuff. Like that was actually what kept him on for so long, in my opinion. Like it wasn't anything else.
I feel like
anything else because he wasn't a goal threat. Obviously, he weren't being a goal threat. But what he was doing, he was stretching their play. Like he'd go and like do. But
he's the only one though. I feel like he's the only one that like he's been tasked to do that. So it's like anyone could go there. Like I feel like anyone who would have played up front would have just done the exact same kind of role. I need to see something a little bit different if you're going to be on the pitch to offer us. Obviously, look, we won 3-2, so it's tricky to be like, oh yeah, he didn't contribute to that, because he did contribute to that. But at the same time, I'm just looking at him and I'm just thinking, I feel like you're not really giving us much else. Like we saw it really against Portugal, but if we were to make it through, or even against a Uruguay side, what with Godin and Jimenez, he's not doing that. He's definitely not doing that. No way is he going to be
one thing he would do though. One thing he would do in comparison to anyone else. Please, mods, just deal with that, please. All this 69mega.com. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Hang on, let me just Google that before it goes.
Yeah.
but look, I mean, yeah.
But I hear what you're saying, though. I do hear what you're saying, though, because he did do it.
I feel against those teams, I think that's where. Obviously, he's played so many games. I think he's way more experienced than them. Like I think what you would get with an Eddie Nketiah, and I think you're getting that with Iñaki Williams to a certain extent, is because they haven't played for Ghana at all. Like they haven't played any appearances. They've never been to the camp. For him, I'm not gonna lie, it's just kind of overwhelming. He doesn't speak English. His Chui and Gar dead. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. Innit?
Oh, he
can't speak that, so he can't communicate with anyone. He's literally just doing the broken English thing with people that speak broken English. It's just the communication's poor. That's why if you see Dede Ayew speaking to him, you're just pointing at him. You're just pointing. I don't think they even communicate properly. And I think seeing how Eddie Nketiah came into, do you know what I mean, Accra Airport, do you know what I mean?
No. That's all that outside.
I'm saying, but if he had came to Ghana, you would have seen the same thing, because even Tariq Lamptey, I'm going to get onto him. He looks like a fish out of water.
Yeah, he does a little bit.
He looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like they're talking to him in Tree and that, telling him Keba to pass the ball, and that he doesn't understand anything.
You just looking at someone like.
This is why you need to be coached.
I mean, he's telling them, brat, they don't get anything. They don't understand. He's like, what?
Like, what's wrong with you?
That's what I'm saying, G. That's what I'm saying, G. Have some sympathy for Nunes that he's not really understanding.
No, he's got Spanish players in the team, bro.
No, there's bare
Spanish players. I was trying to get G.
No, but we're
gonna get into Nunes too.
But that's my problem with Iñaki Williams, because even like little things like. Someone said it in the chat, and I forgot who it was, but they said Iñaki Werner. That's exactly what it's like right now. I'm seeing everything's there. He's pulling up. He's peeled off. Like he's done the right thing. He hasn't done like a bozo, just run into the box. He actually peeled off and he's like, look, he's there. He's made the right run. But it's like the finish, like, brother, what are you doing? And it's like you said, it must be the ancestors, man. It just must be the ancestors. But look, Romz, chat to us about Kudus, though, man.
You know what? Yeah. You know, all of us were probably guilty over this year. When he said the name icon, we all went, oh no. He set himself up for a stinker tournament. That has given him superpowers. I knew he was good, even at Anfield. Not even his goal, just everything else. He was quite good and he was imposing himself in the game. But I didn't know he was this good. Like, the guy looks unstoppable. Like, you can't really mark him out of a game. He always looks like he's a problem. Some people saying summer. Forget summer. He's probably going to get a move, I'd say, in a couple of weeks' time. I can't see him still being at Ajax. Maybe he might be low and give them another 6 months, but he's actually very good. But again, another team that couldn't handle him, even though they lost against Portugal, they couldn't. And today, South Korea, I feel like he got a bit tired towards it because he got subbed, I think, he started to, I'm not going to say play bad, but you can tell he was fatiguing because he wasn't running as much. He was getting the ball and just popping it off when we're used to him getting the ball and actually driving at the opposition. Because the worst thing is in football is someone running at you, especially that's got skill and pace and has a good IQ. But I think Kudus is a baller, man. And I think he will be a key part of Ghana's success in their journey because I do think he'll make out your group. And look, I think he's a baller.
What, 3 goals in 2 games? Do you know what I mean? At Samuel Jan, how many goals has he got? 5.
Wow. 3 in 2 games.
6.
Yeah.
Might be 6. I can't remember. One of the two.
Might be 5 or 6.
Is he top scorer now? Was it Mbappe? Has Mbappe got 3?
Mbappe's got 3.
Yeah,
no, Mbappe's got 3.
Yeah, top scorer. Bro, imagine he grabs a golden boot.
Imagine from midfield. It's crazy. Like it's mad. It's mad. He's a good player. Jamie, what did you think of Ghana's performance in that game? Because obviously it was a tale of 2 halves. Went up. Do you know what I mean? 2-0, and then were under pressure for a lot of that game.
Yeah, I mean, Ghana. Look, I don't know as much about them as you boys might, but they were good. They were a good side. They're entertaining to watch. I will give them that because you don't know what's going to happen. So I like that.
We don't know what's going to happen. I promise.
I like that about my football, but yeah, when you're tuning up in a game, you've got to be seeing it out, and that worries me about Ghana. You know, you've got to be seeing games out when you're tuning up. Korea coming back in the game, was it Shao Wei Song? Was it who got the 2 goals? Is that how you say?
Oh yeah,
Cho Wei Song, something like that. Yeah. Kudus, is it Kudus, the right winger?
Yeah, Kudus.
Yeah. Liverpool apparently looking at him strong, ain't they?
I see that today
for January. So yeah, I mean. He looked decent. And Naki Williams, man. Is this geezer a footballer?
Oh,
I'm not being horrible here, man. I'm just looking at his stats. Because all I ever hear about is, I've been hearing about Naki Williams for years, right?
Yeah, same. Yeah,
for years. He's this next superstar that no one can touch. He's been at Bilbao forever. He's never injured. I was like,
do you know what his release was?
I'm going to have a look at him. He's had 355 games for Atletico Bilbao, yeah? 80 goals. But he's meant to be a forward.
I mean, it's just...
he's not, like I said, he's not there. That's what I'm saying. He's not the biggest goal scorer. He's not.
I don't know. Do you not have this same, like, do you look at strikers like this, the top elite strikers? I always feel you should at least have half or over half.
Yeah.
So 1 and 2.
1 and 2 minimum.
I'm expecting to have 60 minimum goals. This ain't for all strikers, by the way, just for the top one. They should always have at least half goals that they have appearances. Or 1 and 2. 1 and 2.
Yeah, all the time. And now why I hear about him all the time. I'm like, oh man, he must be something. Saw him today. I was like, no. Didn't Ian Nketiah want to play for Ghana or something like that?
No, he didn't want to play.
Was there something before the World Cup about it? There was an argument or something, wasn't there? That he wanted to, like, I'd have Eddie Nketiah in front of him all day long, man.
I think it was just all noise because if he wanted to go, I reckon they would have.
Yeah, I think
he's not no more than me.
Politics, man, with these lot.
But yeah, look, good game of football, exciting game of football. It's a game of football I've been wanting in this World Cup because this World Cup's been dead to me. I don't care what anyone says. This World Cup,
no, Jamie,
it's dead, man. It's dead, man. Dead atmospheres. I'm sick of seeing empty seats. It's like WCW in 2001.
No, you might see the
everywhere, man.
You might see the empty seats everywhere. But one thing I'd say is the atmosphere have actually been very, very good. Very good. Like Mexico, Argentina, the Saudis, Brazil, Ghana.
There's so many good atmospheres. You say it's been the best day so far?
This has been half the best day because the last.
Jamie, I'll be honest, yeah. International football, the atmosphere is never normally like. It's not really like club football where you get songs about every player or like it's proper jumpy for like the whole, or like the away end will be mad jumpy.
I remember World Cups in the South Africa World Cup. The atmosphere.
Yeah, that was mad.
The South Africa World Cup, you thought that because of the vuvuzelas, but a lot of people were actually complaining about that as well.
But the colour of the World Cup, if you know what I mean, it felt like a World Cup. This feels, they all feel like international friendlies.
Well, Jamie, you're not allowed to colour in this World Cup.
I don't think so. You know what it is? When I see them celebrating the goals, when I'm seeing them celebrating the goals, the way Serbia and Cameroon were celebrating earlier, I'm just seeing Bearman and Bibbs running onto the pitch. I'm like, this is lit. This is World Cup football.
Did you see the geezer today run on with the pride flag and left it by Ronaldo?
Oh yeah, I was like, yo. Statements, boy. Jesus.
But no, it's just not doing it for me. And I've seen loads. I mean, my first World Cup was 1990, so I'll go back quite a lot seeing World Cups, and it's something about
which World Cup would you then say, if you're looking at from 1990? Then which one would you say has been the best in your eyes?
1990 is my favourite in a way because it saved football. Because everyone forgets football went on TV, man. Football was dying. It weren't being shown, and the World Cup saved it. 94 was terrible. As soon as Diana Ross couldn't hit the goal, it was over. 98 was great. 98 was great because I was in sixth form in 1998. That's how old I am. And everyone was talking about it, and I run home. I purposely didn't take my O levels to get home to watch England Tunisia. I left it, man. I wanted to watch England Tunisia, you know. And then 2006 was that in Germany. That was
you are absolutely nuts, you know.
And then you know what? Do you know what? My favourite World Cup might be the Russian World Cup.
The recent one.
No, every game in that was absolutely fantastic.
What year was that? 18 and
me that ranks as one of the worst.
Oh,
one of the worst. There were some sick goals.
2002, I felt like that atmosphere.
100%, but you get like, I still like World Cups, but when I think of like the top World Cups, like it doesn't come in like my top three.
1990 and 1998 are my two favourites, but I'll tell you what, the Russian World Cup, the last one, had a lot of great games.
That's 2014.
2010 was sick until the final. The final was just dead, but the actual World Cup itself was lit.
Yeah,
the Netherlands-Spain game was
yeah.
It flattened to the sea.
For me, 02 is the one I remember. 02 is the one I remember the most. But that's No, but I remember that as a kid, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of it is nostalgia. It's nostalgia. It's that. It's all these players, and then you look back on it and you're like, so amazing.
Like overdoing it.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, but that's why I'm actually trying to take this World Cup in, and I'm like, actually, this World Cup is actually very, very good. But it's the negative PR that I haven't allowed to kind of just go and skew my judgment on whether the World Cup's good or not, because there's been so much PR on Qatar, this, that. They didn't show the opening ceremony. But for me, maybe because we're doing content, but I'm so invested, like I'm actually enjoying every single. I mean, like this is one of the World Cups where the groups are all tight. Like every single
into the last game.
That's because you know why they're all tight now? Because there ain't as many great players as there used to be.
It's the finishers. It's not. I said there's great players, but it's just the strikers now. I think
there's no strikers. They're all gone.
There's not hardly any.
There's not really that many top quality strikers. Yeah.
Bro, you see the brother that I know he scored, but you see the brother that Germany brought on yesterday.
I
don't even really know who you are like that, bro. I weren't familiar with his game at all, bro. He's wearing a number 9.
That's what's quite sad about this World Cup as well.
What's his name? Fulkrug.
Yeah,
something like
that. Sounds like a lager or something, isn't it?
Bro.
This World Cup's sad because a lot of the big players, the greats of the game that we've had for the last 10 years, 12 years.
Exactly.
You're not going to see him again, and that's quite a sad note as well.
One thing my friend was one of my boys, he called me earlier on, and we was like, I hadn't spoken to him for a minute about the World Cup, and he said this to me. He was like, do you think we need to get out of this notion of looking at these top like teams that we would call top international sides, like Brazil, France, whoever, should we get out of that notion that there's actually a top international side now?
Right anymore. Right.
Yeah, because you got to realize, remember back in the day, let's say as an example, was there a league for Saudi Arabia back in 98 for them to be playing football at even a level, let alone a level enough to even make it into a World Cup? Whereas now Saudi Arabia got their own big league, and they it's big over on that side of the world, blah blah blah. South Korea, you compare their league now to the league that they would have had back in 98, 2002, 2006, or whatever years. And when you look at it now, football, I think, has just kind of closed that gap. So now all this talk like Belgium, golden generation, like, all that kind of bullshit and stuff like that, I don't really feel like that's even there anymore. I just think like now, because we're seeing small teams in this World Cup beating the big teams, but I'm not even semi-surprised when you're watching the game. Like when I'm watching the Saudi Arabia versus Argentina game, I'm like, nah, they kind of deserved it though. Yeah, do you know what I mean? You're not looking at it thinking, nah, it was a smash and grab and they just nicked it in the last second of the game.
For me, it's a mixture of that. I think it's especially when there's so much football nowadays. Back in the day, like I never went and watched the first time Ronaldo was in the World Cup, innit? Like I didn't know who Ronaldo was. Like Ronaldinho, who was that? Who is that? Who was watching League One? Like no one was watching that. So it was a shock nowadays because you're exposed to so much football.
Yeah, you kind of know
really being surprised by anyone like that, because your Gakpo, if you had just turned up randomly, like, oh, who is this Gakpo? Like you'd just been surprised by him scoring goals. Now because you already know about him, you're just like, oh yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he got his goals. Like that's that guy. He should be doing this because he's this.
I remember it's not just us, coaches also get exposed to this too, like more technology and stuff like that.
Exactly. I think on top of that as well, because I was actually having this debate about like saying the quality's gotten worse and stuff. I don't think it's necessarily gotten worse. I just think that the problem is you've got the equalizer now, which is athleticism. And the equalizer is that, because it doesn't matter how technical you are and stuff. It just doesn't matter. If you got someone that's technically decent, but he's just faster and stronger than you.
I don't know about that. No, I look at this Brazil team right now, this Brazil squad, right? This Brazil team played the 1998 or 2003 Brazil team. They'd get annihilated.
I don't think they would.
No, but annihilated. But that's what I'm saying. That's nostalgia. That's nostalgia and playing that into them. Because if
I'm not nostalgic because I'm old enough, so I've seen it.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's the point. That's what is nostalgia is, that you've seen it. Because as a comparison, the argument someone put forward to me was, I use the example of that. Players now are faster and stronger than they ever were, right? Nope. And he was like, no, they're not. No, they're not. Like, get the fastest players that have ever been recorded in football, and all of them are from the 2010s. All of them are from the 2010s. Like, there's no one from the 90s. There's no one from the early 2000s.
John Barnes was never slower than Mo Salah. I'm telling you right now.
You don't think that if John Barnes had a foot race at his peak versus Salah, Salah wouldn't breeze past him?
Nope.
Salah would breeze.
No, Salah breathe. This is my point. People are going to the pub. People are going against centre backs and players that would go to the pub after games.
Yeah.
Thierry Henry. The reason why Thierry Henry was so
Mbappe would breeze Thierry Henry 100%.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm saying, but Thierry Henry, look what he was doing to like Carragher and Hippier. Like now as a centre back, the requirement is you have to be fast.
Yeah, you have to be.
They've even said it. Even Gary Neville has said that if he was a fullback now, he would be getting.
He would get burnt. Oh my god, he would be so rubbish.
And not even by the top players. You'll be seeing him get burst by like a little like Dwight McNeil and stuff like that. Just every like random baller to just.
I agree with the athleticism part.
It's more astute nowadays. They focus on
and that's what I'm saying is that is the equalizer. So you might get individual players that in a certain team, for example, you might get one player in a Pirlo that's he's technically so superior than everyone else, and you can go and do it. But you couldn't have a team of Pirlos against a team of like Mbappes and Haalands. Do you know what I mean? Even if you put them all in the same pitch, they're just too athletic, and you're seeing that in sports. Now, whether we like it as fans or not, in my opinion, that's another obviously conversation. But look at in basketball. Like, do you know what I mean? Back in the day, you had in the 60s where all the basketball players at my height were like the maximum height were like 6'4". Now you're getting players that are 6'8" and faster than me. There's only so much I can do until it's like, oh well, this guy's just better. Do you know what I mean? And all you're gonna get now, and all you're gonna get is that people are gonna go and they're gonna look to the fastest, the strongest players. Do you know what I mean? The most athletic players, and then they're gonna try coach that technique into them, because that's one thing that you can coach. Do you know what I mean? From a young age, you can go and see someone that's young, that's 6 foot at the age of like 7 or whatever and be like, yeah, we're going to coach you how to go and play. But you can't coach athleticism, innit? Like, you can't coach LeBron's size. There's nothing you can do to that size.
I'm 50-50 on it. I'm not sure.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Because when we do the top 10 best footballers of all time, hardly anyone in the 2010s gets in that top 10 list.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, but they don't get in that. They don't get in that top 10 list because it hasn't been a long enough time. If you went and done that top 10 list 10 years ago, people would be chucking in Platini and certain players that you haven't. I guarantee you didn't include in that list. No. That's exactly. So you know what I mean?
I don't agree with all of it, but there is some truth to what you're saying. But no, this Brazil team, if they played the 98 or 2002 or whatever World Cup that was, 2002 Brazil team, get annihilated. So many average Brazilian players.
We haven't seen the best of this Brazil team yet. Like, I don't think
a lot of them are average.
What was I saying to you earlier? What was I saying to you earlier?
No. You know what it is? I don't even think it's even that we haven't even seen the best of them. This Brazil team, in comparison to say the 98 team, this team is better coached. That 98 team is nowhere near better coached. They just got individual, talented, obviously, players in that kind of team. Of course, when you look around the pitch, you've got so many teams. But they were doing, if you watch the coverage of the game before the match, they were doing
the best all-time best 11.
Like the best all-time 11. I'm seeing a lot of players who were quite recent, of like your Allisons or people that kind of ilk, and Neymars or whatever would get thrown in there potentially. And you're just looking at it and you're thinking, yes, the team of old, 100%. Talent-wise, come on, what they did is going to if this Brazil team was to win the World Cup, that 11 gets.
If Brazil team wins the World Cup, fair enough. But if they don't, then it's 24 years.
You got to remember, Ronaldo only got one World Cup in the time that he was there.
Everyone told me it's dead now.
He got one in 94 as well. He got one in 94,
but he didn't play. He didn't play 94.
Yeah, he didn't play. Yeah, they really can't. Yeah.
There's a lot of average Brazilian attackers I'm seeing.
Quickly, you lot. Maradona only got one in it. The other one, Argentina won. He didn't play.
He won 86 and got to the final in 90, but lost to Germany.
Yeah, and then the other one, he won
out of his brains for 94.
Oh shit! Yeah, he was. He looked mad. He looked like they just put all the map.
When he did that celebration, when he was in the camera like that, they were like, "Yeah, we need drug testing when he finishes."
If he just failed,
he failed straight away.
Would you not say today's been the best day as a collective so far?
No, because
I like yesterday. I thought yesterday was good as well.
Last two games are dog.
Who played yesterday?
Spain, Germany, that was cold. Canada, Croatia, that was cold. Can't remember what the other games were saying.
Belgium, Morocco, that was good.
That was good. Yeah. Maybe
Japan, Costa Rica got a win against Japan as well.
Do you know what my problem is with you guys, like me, against you guys? I think it's because I'm older.
Potentially, no.
I think it's because I'm older and I've seen a lot more football, and not everyone.
I don't know why it's saying potentially.
Oh, shut up! I really knew what you fucking gonna say.
I think it's because I think when you get people talking about football, it's like when I talk to my dad about football, he'll say, back in like they can't match the players, and like I just think it's an age thing. And so yeah.
You always think your era is the best.
Yeah, exactly. I watched like a lot of people in the chat might never have been born when World Cup '98 was on. Do you know what I mean? And
I weren't.
There you go. And
that was my first World Cup.
I skipped my O level for it, for goodness sake. So.
But that's what I'm trying to say is that every generation that's been there is always going to go and say the ones that I grew up, like for example, we'll go and in 10 years time we're going to be talking about Messi and Ronaldo, but my brother that's 8 years old, he's going to be talking about Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? Because he hasn't seen Messi at his point. So
but then you can legitimately go to him no matter how good Mbappe was. He was never Messi. I mean,
but then there's going to still be the same argument that you're having here.
But it doesn't matter because no matter how much you say that, I've spoken, for example, to like some Argentinian coaches of my little brother's team, and they're older, and they say like their dads go and say Messi can never touch what Maradona did.
Yeah,
Maradona was a different level of footballer. Do you know what I mean? And that's the debate.
That's what my dad says.
Exactly. So it's just, as I say, swings and roundabouts, man. It's just swings and roundabouts with that thing. But the game after that, obviously, so Ghana now.
That was the best game of the World Cup for me.
Yeah, good game. We spoke about that. What was the game after that? That was Brazil and Switzerland.
Definitely the worst game of the day. definitely.
You know what it is?
Tell me whenever Brazil turn up.
Do you know what it is with Brazil, right? Let's have it right. They have been poor these opening 2 games. That their individual brilliance.
See, I disagree. Go on, speak. Go on.
For me, I tweeted this and G responded like, we're waiting. I said, I think Brazil are underestimating all their opponents. They know they're that good. That they're not really starting from the off. I think all their goals have come in the second half. They've not scored a first half goal in this tournament. I know it's only been 2 games. I think Brazil, they're not even out of first gear yet. When it gets to the knockouts, I think you're really going to see when it means more. Because at the moment, Brazil know, look, we got 3 nations. I know you can't underestimate anyone, but we got 3 nations here. Nations here that we're head and shoulders better than. Let's just coast. Let's not really try. And then it's that. Have you realized when they need a goal, it's the last 20 minutes, all of a sudden it gets ramped up. Neymar comes up, they ramp it up. Today, when I forgot who came on, Bruno G and Anthony, game changers tonight. They come on, they ramp it up. It's that let's just coast, and then when we know we need to win, we'll win the game. And that's why I think they're going all the way. But I don't think they've been good, Jerry. I'll be so honest.
They haven't conceded a shot, have they?
But this is what I'm saying. Alisson hasn't made a save in this tournament. Alisson hasn't made a save. So what I'm trying to say to you is that it's tournament football. We expect, and this is what I think it's about expectation. You're expecting Brazil to be doing samba, rainbow flicks over his head, scoring 7-0 and dancing and no. Tite's gone, you know what? We're going to be defensively solid. Casemiro, whoever else, Casemiro, but then you've got the Danilo, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva. They had Eder Militao there, but it was Danilo in that first game, but they'll kind of rotate. And then Alisson. Bruv, they have been solid. The way they've blocked every single shot, it's just, you can't break that down. And the more you try and go and do that, they're so comfortable with that defense. It's like, go on. And then we're just going to go and attack.
Same thing France did. France did the same thing.
And for tournament football, that's crazy because Spain, they conceded, didn't they, after that opening loss, didn't they concede only like once or twice in that?
Bro, they only scored 8 goals. They only scored 8 goals in that whole tournament.
But Jerry, this is my point.
Exactly. Efficient, and they walked away with a trophy. Bro, I don't think anyone's going to care after that.
1-0 here, 2-0 there.
Exactly.
Not Switzerland so much, but Serbia cut open Brazil a few times. It was just they just couldn't finish. They didn't. I think better team.
But cutting them open, but that's what I'm saying. Cutting them open. What is cutting them open? Because if they haven't had a shot, if you haven't faced a shot, if you're looking at that as a defender, if I'm a defender and my keeper hasn't had to make a save, we've been absolutely solid. Of course, it's football. They're gonna come and attack. They're gonna have just as much pride as you are. It's the World Cup. Do you know what I mean? If you're not gonna turn up for a World Cup, then you're never gonna turn up. Do you know what I mean? If you ain't going to try and perform at your best, you're just never going to turn up. But they'll be thinking, exactly. Look at England, and Jamie said it. Jamie said it at our point. England went and won Iran 6-2, and there was this whole palaver about how great England are, and wow, it's coming home. Look what Iran did to them. Iran cut them open. That's cutting them open. They scored 2 goals. If your keeper hasn't had to make a save, and all your errors has been like Alisson being shocking with his feet. Do you know what I mean in this game?
Yo, I'm sorry, but Alisson with his feet he's not good. He's not good with his ball like this. Like, I don't know why the concept that kind of concept.
It's because he's got that one pass. He's got that one pass.
Yeah, he's got that one like pass. I'm just like, bro, you're not good with your feet.
I think we're doing him a bit of disservice because
I don't think he's the best with his feet than Alisson.
That's what I was going to say. I don't think he's.
It doesn't matter about who's been caught out more. It's the fact that you're still not good at it.
There's a game, right?
And I still think Alisson's a better goalkeeper as well.
Remember when we played Southampton early one season? I think it's the season we even won the league, and he made a mistake early. It's that I think that was one of the turning points. After that game, he's not the best with his feet, but have you clocked? Whenever players are pressuring him, he'll do like a Cruyff and play out. He's been a bit comfortable the last year or two, I'd say. But today, he had one of the moments that are reminiscent of
I remember.
years ago.
No, but I remember last season, even a couple of seasons ago, where he does that, and it's like, oh my god, like he's not comfy on the ball. He's someone that's had to train himself to be comfortable on the ball. Ederson, you can go and see, he's like
he looks like he's been outfield.
He's been caught out more with his feet. You then have to take into consideration how often Ederson's got the ball at his feet. Do you know what I mean? Because that ratio is completely different. If he's stepping into midfield at times like Neuer does, and he's doing little pings about with his midfield and getting it back and doing 1-2s.
Yeah, I can see what you're
to get out. But you can see
some of Ederson's passes. there's midfielders that can't make those passes.
I agree with that. But Alisson's distribution is better than Ederson's. Full stop. And I've been saying because I think I've said it on this program a few times. Like with Alisson, his distribution leads to more goals efforts at goal than Ederson's does.
But that's just more.
Ederson is prettier.
Is that not more direct though?
Yeah,
Alisson's literally giving it to Salah. He's like Salah's last line.
Ederson tries to be direct all the time. He doesn't. I think we just got this thing because Ederson's so pretty with his kicks, and he does the odd one or two in a season that looks better than anything any midfielder can do. You think he's doing that every game, but he's not. He's just not. His distribution is quality. So is Alisson's, but Ederson's just a bit prettier with it.
It's not even. Again, it's not to say that Alisson's isn't. Like, it's not to compare between the two to say, like one is either, because they both got attributes that one is better than the other. Like, for example, Ederson is a better player who's comfortable out with the ball at his feet than Alisson. Alisson for me is a better goalkeeper in terms of just being a goalkeeper. You know, like they both got different attributes. Hence the reason why they've both had to kind of fight for that Brazil's #1 spot, and obviously Ali's got it right now. But when you're talking about the ball just genuinely at your feet, and you're talking about we need you to just be comfortable, Alisson is not and I've seen it since he's joined. Every single season. Sir,
what makes you think he ain't comfortable though?
Because of the way that I feel like he's got a level of overconfidence within his own abilities, which then leads to that. Which means he's comfortable. Then he's not. Because then he doesn't.
You know what it is?
Because Saka was someone that was like that, but Saka never looked comfortable on the ball.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Saka was someone that was always after the ball.
Misplaced. The confidence is misplaced.
Yeah, the confidence is misplaced. Like, you think you're better than you actually are.
If you weren't comfortable, then we would never play that way to go.
No, Jamie. Put it like this, yeah. He's good, but he thinks he's great at it. Like, he's probably like an 8. He's probably like a 7 or 8, but he thinks he's a 9. And then sometimes
he's great at it.
I think he's not shit.
I can't understand how we're not saying he's not great at it, man. When
then I think you're getting a bit bamboozled with the fact that you're seeing a couple of assists.
I say every single game. When he creates so many chances for Liverpool.
But Jamie, that's not great. But for me, that doesn't result in distribution. I've seen Ederson get the ball and do a Thiago-esque pass.
Yeah, but you see it once a season.
Into the number 10 along the floor, like that type of pass.
Nah, Ederson does it regularly.
He does it regularly. Alisson goes and plays the long pass over the top when you've got Salah. Do you know what I mean? If Ederson,
it's a bit of a cheat code, isn't it?
If Ederson done that for City, Pep would grill him for that because Pep doesn't want him to do that. Do you know what I mean? That's a complete. He doesn't just get the ball and hoof it long and hit them on the transition. They have to go back to front through the middle of the park.
So what we're saying is Alisson's got a better long pass than Ederson in. Because Alisson's long passing is pinpoint. That's why we have them.
Edison's range is mad though. Because for me, Alisson's got that. He's got that one boot.
Edison's a better passer. Alisson's got everything got it in his locker. That's the point. He's just got
Edison it. More has that like quarterback ball where you just get as far as you can. But Edison's more like
pinpoint. Like if I need to get it out to this guy at this point, if I need to, as Jerry said, if I need to get it into the attacking midfielder, whoever that might be, if I need to play it into the centre midfielder,
Edison can break lines. Edison can break lines just as a midfielder can, whereas Alisson doesn't break lines with his passing. Alisson goes and hits direct, and you can hit it pinpoint. Of course, he's not rubbish. We've seen the assists.
Yeah, of course, 100%.
In terms of passing, I've seen Ederson go and drill Stevie Gerrard-esque passes into someone's feet, like along the ground. Do you know what I mean? Which sets up is the pass before the assist. But
that's not to say that Alisson overall is not the best.
What JJ's trying to say, what JJ's trying to say, if they play tennis, Alisson will keep hitting it over the net, and Ederson will keep hitting the net. Basically, that's what he's saying. Ederson could go 3 ways on the ground. Alisson can only really go one way, but Ederson can probably go both ways.
If you look at Alisson's assists as well, most of the time he's like
tennis players. Like I was trying to think of like Djokovic and like Federer and Nadal. And
no. I wasn't thinking exactly that of tennis players. I'm just saying, you know, the way Alisson plays, he'll just always go. Alisson will keep hitting over the net. Where the way Ederson passes, it will keep hitting in it. As in, he can go low, he can go driven, or he can go over the top. Where Alisson's more just one. He's one dimensional when it comes to his kicking.
I see Alisson knock it to the wide areas all the time.
Yes, knock it to the wide areas, but Ramsdale knocks it to the wide areas.
Ramsdale's good with his feet as well.
Yeah, but he's not. They're not Edison. Edison.
That's why Gareth Southgate doesn't play.
The question. They've actually posed the question. Multiple people like, oh, would you want to play in midfield? Could you play in midfield? Because that's the level of his passing.
Could not play in midfield. Let's stop it. Let's just stop it.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that's the question that's posed because his passing's that good. And Jamie, if you've watched a lot of football,
his passing's that good because no one puts him under pressure as a goalkeeper.
Pardon?
His passing's that good because no one puts him under pressure as a goalkeeper. So you put him in midfield, he's got to be under constant pressure. He's got to be under constant pressure.
About Trent then.
But I always say that about Trent. That's why I said.
No, you told me Trent. You told us yesterday that Trent is a better passer than Thiago.
No, as equal as Thiago, yeah, but from his position.
Nah, yesterday, Jamie.
I said from his
yesterday you told us.
You
told us Trent was a better passer than Thiago.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing. It's the same
In
thing.
position. I said Trent is as good as Thiago as a passer for Liverpool in his position.
Nah.
If you're a good passer, you don't have to be in a position.
Jamie, I'm 99% sure because it's there on record anyway. But you didn't say it in the position. But you didn't say. In the position.
Anyone who thinks Alisson ain't got good distribution, then you just don't watch football.
No. He's got good distribution, but I don't like him with the ball at his feet.
That's the distribution part. Is fine.
What do you count as distribution?
Huh?
What do you count as distribution?
Distribution is getting the ball from point A to point B. I'm saying the ball at his feet. That's
the two are different.
You're traveling.
Then I didn't hear you properly, and I apologise.
Distribution is the ball.
I did hear you. I did. Look, I'm old. I didn't hear you properly. I'll get you now.
Basically, what they're saying, Jamie, that Jerry and
with his feet, I do worry sometimes because Alisson looks a bit. Hang on, Ali, don't because he takes his time a little bit.
I'm
with you.
The thing is, G and Jerry weren't trying to be nice about it. They were basically saying Alisson Becker's just shy, like he can't pass it.
No, I get what he's saying now. I weren't hearing you properly. No, Alisson when the ball at his feet, he did it today. He was waiting too long. Yeah,
that's what we're talking about today. As an example, Brazil, that was they were causing their own issues. It was Alisson
was better at his feet.
Jokes aside, though, but
someone actually said that. Big up
G and Jerry, don't you think I still agree with you. He's not comfortable with the ball at his feet, but don't you think since when he first came to Liverpool, remember it was happening every game. He slightly improved. Like he's still not comfortable with his feet, but he has improved.
He's not natural with it. He's not natural.
And that is the point. Is like I said, as a goalkeeper, if I had to pick between the two, I'm picking Alisson every day of the week because Alisson is the better all-round keeper.
He's the best keeper I've seen at Liverpool.
Yeah,
exactly.
He can do what. I know it's not saying much anyway. To be honest with you, in terms of like what, like as an overall kind of package, yes, he can do also what Edison can do. Like they both can do give or take the same things.
One's more natural than the other.
Yeah. So when it comes to certain things, yes, Edison has been caught out enough times, like taking too long, and I've seen it too many times. Edison has also been caught out, but you can tell with Edison that he's just super comfortable with it. With Ali, you're almost like, I can tell you're not comfortable. Yeah, but you've had to be, as Jerry said, you've had to be coached into really doing it because of your actual ability, and in terms of you can kick, you can do certain things. You've had to be coached into the Ronaldo kind of thing. You're not Messi in terms of it just comes like that to you. Ronaldo had to be coached into certain things, and then he's been able to get himself to that level of being able to perform like a Lionel Messi, blah, blah, blah. Whereas Messi, I can't ever see a time where Messi would have had to coach to do half of the things that he's ever done on a football field because naturally it just came like that to him kind of thing. But in terms of a keeper, no way. Like Ali all day, every single motherfucking day.
That's why he's number one for Brazil.
Yeah, 100%. He deserves to be number one. Like Edison shouldn't even touch that. But yeah, today he was.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to go on there. I didn't hear you properly, so I do.
No. It's good to hear the other side. It's good to hear the other side, like, because then I'll start to understand where you're coming from.
But we've got to talk about Brazil's shit strikers. Jesus Christ.
Who's up front?
Hey, I'm joking.
When we go start having the I told everyone 12 months ago that Rafinha ain't it.
You actually,
I'm going to back you on that because I've always said I don't like Rafinha.
Bro, at Leeds, I rated him highly.
Yeah, you were banging off this guy.
Bro, I wanted him so bad.
I don't want it.
For example, we're saying that, yeah, and obviously I'm playing devil's advocate because I know you guys are obviously not rating Rafinha, but that ball he put onto Vinny, that was on the money.
Yeah, he's got your good pass here and that.
But if Vinny scores that, we're saying Rafinha's the one who changed that game because out of nothing he produced a ridiculous.
But then Vinny,
pass.
Yeah, but
is he as good as Vinny Jr.? No, nowhere near.
But they're different, aren't they?
Well, they're wingers.
I can't lie, you're not gonna laugh, but I even think I know this ain't his natural position, but makes it put Martinelli on that right because for me, Rafinha's not in these first two games.
Hear what I'm saying about these Arsenal man, bro. These Arsenal man.
Jokes aside, because even the win against Serbia, Martinelli came on last 20 minutes. He was direct. But
that's because he's a different type of winger than a Rafinha.
Yeah, but cool. The situations Brazil's left themselves in when it's getting to 0-0 and there's 20 minutes and they need the winner, that's the type of... Then again, maybe an impact sub to suit him, but I don't know, man. I've not been seeing enough from Rafinha. Again, it's only been 2 games, but...
He was shit in the first game as well.
Do you know my favourite thing now? Do you know my favourite thing now? My favourite thing in football now is the creative winger. Right, this is my favourite thing. When people know that a winger's good and he's got talent, yeah, but because he hasn't got the numbers, we're going to have to call him a creative winger. Now, what counts as being creative as a winger? Because if you're going to be a creative winger, I want to see proper numbers, man. I need to see numbers if you're going to be a creative
winger. What about like McManaman and, do you know what I mean, like, obviously Giggs got
like Ryan Giggs in that
history.
But I never rated that, man.
In the season, they're getting like 5 and 6. Do you know what I mean? And they're and
but they weren't wingers. They weren't wingers. They were wide midfielders.
Yeah, but would you say, that's what I'm saying. But would you say like a Rafinha is? Would you put him in the same bracket as a Salah?
Nowhere near.
Nah.
No, not in terms of the position, but in terms of what they offer.
They play similar positions. They play similar positions.
See, that's what I'm saying. I would
different.
Not much different. It's hardly much.
If I got rid of Salah, I would never think if I wanted to replace Salah, like in terms of you can't replace him, but in terms of what he does, I would never look at Rafinha.
Yeah, but Salah's one of the greatest footballers of his generation.
No. But in terms of what they offer, not in terms of the numbers they're going to go and get.
Now, this is what I was saying yesterday, right? This is what I was saying yesterday about people with talent when we were talking about Eden Hazard yesterday. Rafinha's got talent, yeah? There's no doubt about it. He has got talent. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the Brazil national team, right? But he doesn't get the numbers, and he is a forward winger. We live in a day and age now where there's no strikers anymore. Everyone's forward wingers, yeah? Right? But he doesn't use his talent well enough, in my opinion, to do the job I think he should be doing, which is getting assists and goals. So, because he doesn't do it enough, we've got to call him a creative winger. And I'm like, what's he creating? So it's like Bobby was our number 9 for years, and he is a striker. Because he don't score enough goals, we call him a defensive forward, right? because he don't score enough goals. You know what I mean? So I like Rafinha. I think he's a very good footballer. I just don't like people have just got this thing that they all think these certain players are just because they ball out a couple of games and look quite flashy and all that, and he's immense. And you look at him, he's like, is he using all his talent to be the player he actually could be? That's what I always say.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, that's what I'm saying. The types of players like a Rafinha, like an Eden Hazard, for me anyway, I would never go and I don't look at them and expect them like, because of your talent, you should be going and getting goals and assists. And that's not your role, because what he will, for example, do is where Eden Hazard, for example, used to go and pick up the ball. Salah don't pick up the ball there. Salah doesn't pick up the ball there because they're completely different players. When Rafinha played at Leeds played with a striker. He only played as a forward when they had like injuries and stuff like that. Yeah. A lot of the time he
still got numbers though. He's still got decent numbers.
And that's what I'm saying. And yeah, he got decent numbers. But when the team is like in this team today, that's what I'm trying to say. You've got so many like big fishes in the pond. He's not going to be the top dog. Like no one's saying he's the best in the world. But what I was trying to say is today, if Vinicius puts that ball away, which he should have. That's an assist, right? And then in the game against Serbia, poor finish, but you know that little 1-2 they done in the edge of the box and he like scuffed the shot.
Oh
that was like a one-on-one. Yeah, so he's missed that shot, but we've seen loads of strikers miss that shot. If he puts it away, and of course it's hypotheticals, but we're talking about a goal and assist in 2 games. And that's what I'm saying. It's finite margins. That's what I'm saying. That's why I asked you yesterday, Jamie, in regards to the Hazard conversation. What do you expect?
Well, then I could do that for Trent though. I've seen Trent put many balls in the box where no one gets on the end of it, and you could have about 50 assists a season.
Oh no!
I could do that for everyone. I just look at Rafinha and think, I don't know where. So, are you saying you would, if you played 4-4-2, you could play a Rafinha on a wide and in a 4-4-2 because he's that kind of wide man, 100%. Not an out and out, not like a 4-3-3 winger.
Exactly. Like even if you played as a 4-3-3 winger, he's not playing as an inside forward. He's doing the role that Pep would ask in a tiki-taka days of Barcelona. When they stay so wide, they just stay wide and they hug the touchline, and their job is isolate your fullback. Isolate your fullback and then kite across into the box. That's their role.
That's fair enough, then, man.
Klopp's forwards, they're inside, aren't they? They're inside, and we use our fullbacks. And I think that's why I was asking. Like, I agree. I don't think he played well, but I think it's interesting to see what do people expect from certain positions. Do you know what I mean? Because
I think that's that.
Yeah, go on, G.
No. Finish off.
No, that's what I'm saying. What you expect from different positions, because for example, like there's certain players that will look at like, I don't know, a midfielder and be like, oh, you don't get enough goals. Do you know what I mean? You don't get enough goals for me. Like, do you know what I mean? But if that's not his role in the team, like a Fabinho as an example, I can't judge him on like a Casemiro that gets like 5 goals.
Rafinha's job in the team then? That's what, because I look at Vinny Jr. on the other side, yeah. And if I was a team and I knew I got to pick, you know, Rafinha or Vinny Jr. as my winger. I need a winger in my team. I've got one winger left to buy, and it's either Rafinha or Vinny Jr. I'm buying Vinny Jr. every day of the week.
Do you know what it is though?
It's more threatening. I just look at players like Rafinha and think, you have so much quality. Could you do a little bit more? Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
That's how I feel about Luis Diaz.
That's how I feel about.
I feel like that about Luis Diaz as well. Exactly.
But in our team though, Salah would be the Vinicius, where you're the one to get on the end of stuff. You're the one to kind of be more direct.
But then we've seen Darwin come in and play that left hand side and do it.
Yeah, it's mad.
So Luis can do it. He can do it. There's no excuse.
But Darwin and Diaz's game is completely different. I look at them to do different things. In the game, I want Diaz to just be a menace to his fullback, take him on, try and draw fouls, try and create stuff. But I know that Diaz, just by looking at him after a few games, he's not like a natural finisher.
But Diaz can play 4-4-2 as well, can't he?
He could play. He plays same kind of role as Rafinha. Like you could just do the wing thing and just take your man.
Even with Diaz,
that's why Salah's dying this season out there.
But the difference is with Rafinha, what Rafinha will be able to go and do, like a Hazard, like I don't know. There's a few players like that. Where even a Maradona, because he's not really an inside forward. Look how, like, sometimes when they get the ball, look how deep they are. They're getting the ball off Casemiro. Do you know what I mean? And linking up the play. It's like with a Neymar. I would never compare. Like if let's say Salah left today, like I think Neymar's better than Salah, of course. Like I just think that. But for me personally,
whoa.
Yeah, for me. But that's another conversation.
Wow.
I just think
that's my great footballer in the world, Neymar.
No.
As a footballer, you can't chat to Neymar. Like you can't.
Oh no.
It's not just Jamie. Sam thinks this as well. Like our fan base.
I don't rate Neymar.
I'm not even trying to start the debate. But what I was saying is that
that's the whole difference.
But if for example Salah left, and we had a Rafinha to get, or we had like a Neymar to get, or someone said Vinicius. Vinicius is the one that you get.
Yeah.
Because Neymar's the better player. Neymar's the one that can go and probably win you more games by himself and all of that type of thing. But it's not what you want because it doesn't fit that role.
Bro, Neymar in our system, Klopp would be.
Or Jerry, like I'm not saying he's as good, or even like an ilk of like a Gnabry. You know they're going to make them inside runs.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's like you've got Gnabry, you've got like a Leroy Sané, like those types of players. They're completely different.
I'd have Saka over Neymar.
But then a great example is you had Ribery and Robben.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Saka over Neymar.
I'd have Saka over Neymar.
Saka.
In the Liverpool system.
You know, maybe so.
In
the Liverpool system, that's fair.
I would change the system for Neymar. Still, I can't lie.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. It's but then I'm thinking I'm rejigging everything for that one, man. I don't know. But
that's what I was saying is that I see what they offer in a team is completely different. So if PSG got, like, for example, when Neymar goes out, Rodrigo comes into the team. Do you know what I mean? For when they swap, Rodrigo comes in because he offers a similar thing to what Thingy does. Vinicius doesn't then move into the 10 and do the Neymar role because he won't be able to do it nowhere near as effectively. And I think that's that's the issue, in it. Like
even when like, just quickly before we even move on, is like, even when I'm looking here, just as you guys were just talking there, and I thought, let me see the heat map, because the heat map will also tell you an indication as to where they are actually playing on this pitch. And when you look at the heat map, you can see it. It's kind of what Jamie and both Jay are saying, is that Rafinha is almost basically playing as a right midfielder who gets forward, whereas Vinicius is actually playing as a left winger who
one's playing a 4-4-2, one's playing a 4-3-3.
Yeah. So, but obviously in the game, obviously they then move, blah blah blah. So you won't notice it as much. But when I'm looking here, you can see like the touch map for Vinicius is left wing / attack, whereas for Rafinha it's right mid / right wing. So you can tell straight away that, as you said, they're both doing two different roles on either side because of the skills that they have. So then it then comes down to, as Jerry said, then what is the expectation? Because now I'm not looking at Rafinha thinking, I need you to, in a season, get me 20 goals and 15 assists, because I'm thinking, you might not realistically be able to get that. What you're going to be able to do is get me a few assists, get me a couple of goals here and there, but you're going to be there more for the build-up play for someone like Vinicius, who I expect to then get me 15, 20 goals and 15, like he did last season. Last season, how many goals did he get? How many assists did he get? But that's because he's in that position.
Is he better than Anthony? Is he better than Anthony?
Rafinha.
Do you reckon he's better than Anthony?
The only reason,
Rafinha.
The only reason why I'm expecting a bit more, just a bit. I'm not saying a whole. I'm not expecting Rafinha to score every other game or not. But the reason why I'm just expecting a bit more is because the way Brazil's system is designed, I feel like the wide forward should be getting more.
But they're not wide forward. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, they're not playing as like, if you see it here, Rafinha's not playing as a wide forward. He's literally playing right mid.
No. I know Rafinha's not playing as a wide forward. But don't you think Brazil? He's basically going against the grain. Don't you think Brazil's 4-2-3-1 is set up for wide forward?
Because what it is that when he goes and comes inside, he see that ball into Vinicius. That's what they're looking for. That's what they're looking for. If you look at the game, he comes inside, and that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that incisive path, whether it's even along the ground or whatever, for Rafinha to go and create. Because he goes deep because he has to allow there for there to be space for Paqueta, for Neymar to go and exchange. If he kept doing those runs inside, we'd be doing the same thing that G's spoken about with Diaz and Nunes when they keep going into each other's space.
More like Harvey Elliott.
You're basically saying Rafinha in himself, he is the trigger. Once he gets the ball,
yes,
then
next time you see it, you see he gets the ball. The first touch is inside. And straight away, watch that run. You might not find them every time. You might not find them every time. He might go and pop and do a 1-2. But the first one is, can I get in and can we get it direct into Vinicius that can square it into Richarlison? Do you know what I mean? Like, that's how it is. Look at what Mahrez does.
This is why I love this show, because I didn't look at it I thought their 11 was designed for the wide forwards to both make the run. So when I'm not seeing Rafinha do that, I'm thinking
Rafinha.
It's like he's just not making it.
I used to think the same. It's only just through this discussion. Like, as you guys were talking, I was exactly thinking the same thing as you. Like, maybe I am expecting a bit more from Rafinha. But then I was like, let me actually look at this touch, man. And it's only because I just looked this last 5 minutes. But again, I would have been thinking the same thing as you, bro. So it's not even. It's just literally, it is just one of those kind of things, bro. Honestly, like,
because whenever he does get the ball, I see a runner or I see the 10 come
close. The great example was in the first game. Was it in the first game or the second? It was the first game when Anthony came on in the first half and went to the left because I think Vinicius came off. I think Rafinha stayed on. When Martinelli came on, Anthony's the one that went out wide and Martinelli went on the left. Because Martinelli is the Vinicius in that situation.
Yes,
the
right runner.
There's even a chance he had. There's even a chance where he runs and he kind of receives it behind and he kind of cuts it.
And that's what it is. Mahrez as an example. Mahrez, of course, they want you to, like, when you get in the positions to have end product. That's why I'm saying,
of course, of course.
Dead shot that he had in that first game, or do you know what I mean? That's poor, because you need, in that situation, you have to finish where you're playing. Do you know what I mean?
It's also down to playing to strength, because the Salahs, the Vinicius, the Rodrigos, what do they all have? Lightning pace. Where the Rafinha's, they're more technical. They're not lightning, but they have a lot of
it's like Sancho as well. It's like peak Sancho.
Yes. That's why Sancho was used wrongly.
But then Rashford or Martial now.
But do you know what it is? Do you know what it is? I deeped it. They see, just because he's a lighty and he's got like tats and that, and he wears a little wrist tape, they're like, he must be quick. He must be like Rashford.
But if they played him properly, you would get
high socks.
They just thought, South London, played in cages, must be quick. Bro, if you watch him at Dortmund, he was drawing man. He was kind of like,
he never got in behind anyone, did he?
Never got in behind.
And if he did, it was like randomly, because he's got obviously he's slow, so he's got a bit of pace.
It wouldn't be him running; it would be a 1-2 off someone.
Exactly.
But this Brazil team, though, if they go play like this, for me, they have to win the World Cup. Otherwise, there's questions.
Jamie, I reckon they'll step it up. I think they're coasting right now. They're a bit bothered. I think knockouts, they're going to ramp up a bit more.
You are right, though, Ron. Serbia did have a go at them today. I know they didn't get any shots on. But I feel like, I look at their defence, and I don't think they're playing in a way that the defence is looked after. But if you look at their defenders, player by player, they're not great. And I just feel like later in the World Cup, if they play a France or someone like that, or a Portugal even, or someone like half decent, I think they can expose Brazil a little bit. Because I think they were playing a way where they bring Brazil
on to them. Definitely.
Only for me, only France right now who's like
Mbappe.
Mbappe would be the one.
Yeah, I think Mbappe with your Mbappes and obviously your Comans and Dembele.
Even Dembele.
Because they're so fast, of course they're going to go and expose it. The thing is that obviously Jamie said they haven't got players play for player. And in the fullback regions where Alexander's actually having a very good tournament. But obviously there's still question marks about Danilo and Eder Militao, we know as well.
No,
that core of Alisson, Marquinhos, Thiago Silva and Casemiro, it's so solid.
Thiago Silva looks a bit.
No, but he's looked.
I'm pretty sure
he's made like the most blocks in the competition so far.
You say the questions over Militao and not Sanders, Militao and Danilo. But Militao came in and he's probably more better equipped. I know he's a natural, I think, centre back, but he can play a fullback role. But he is quick. Let's have it right. Militao is very quick, and he's more quick. So the Mbappe's, he will still have success, but he won't have as much success against the other nation. I think Brazil are the best equipped to actually stop him.
Yeah, I think the core is the core that's so important. And I think when you're going into a tournament, if you're going and you look at Spain, they didn't concede in that tournament. And that's what it is in tournaments. If your defense is on point, you can go the distance. Even England in the last two tournaments, it's based off the defense.
Remember,
the defense was solid. Like it wasn't going forward that they scored tons and tons of goals, and you never really see that in tournaments.
Which tells me the Brazil coach don't quite trust his forwards enough to play that way.
No, but I was just about to say this is why Brazil would do well, because you've got someone it's not even that. You've got someone in Richarlison. So, for example, we're talking about Mbappe. Remember, Mbappe still needs to get the ball. If no one can get him the ball, it doesn't matter. Mbappe could run for 10 years. You know what I mean? He could run back to Cameroon and he still ain't going to get that ball. So, the reality is, if you're able to stop that, as Jerry said, Brazil are, for me, in a game against a France, I feel like they'll be able to do something like that. Because they would have players like your Casemiros in the middle and whoever else they decide to play next to him who would play so rigid enough to not allow, because France's midfield for me is not really popping like that. Like I don't look at it and think, it's going to be able to do this, that, and the third. If they then
Spine isn't that great, G. Sorry to interject. So that core isn't that great. They've just got a striker there. That's just
I will say with Brazil, like. They look like they're going to be the hardest team to beat in this World Cup. There's no doubt about that. And I don't know what it is, but they look like they want it more at the moment out of everyone. You see the way they celebrate goals, and you know, it just feels like it's been 20 years since they won a World Cup, and I'm thinking like, no, this has to be
From when they got their 6 star on their shorts, I was like, yeah, these guys are serious.
Yeah, they literally
not playing.
These guys are serious. These guys are serious.
They probably got the deepest squad as well. So
yeah, and I think
and that's what helps them.
Biggest point.
Like for like Man City.
Because they're defensively, but the thing is, you see with City's more like they're attacking you, and then they bring someone else that's just gonna have more energy. With them, they can be defensively so solid, and then they're just gonna be like, you know what, 70th minute, like they did today. Anthony thing, come on, changes the game and they win the game 1-0. And when you look at like tournaments, even look at like United when they had like Solskjaer and stuff, the amount of games they won, where they're just defensively solid. They bring someone on that they know is going to have an impact. And every single like Bruno Guimaraes came on. What a cameo he had. What a cameo
he only flicked it over the man's head and he was right next to him and got it easy.
Apparently he's got the most assists in the Brazil top squad this year or something like that.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I was hearing.
I know he's coming back from a shoulder injury, but Paqueta looks poor. He got dispossessed about 5.
I've never liked Paqueta full stop. I think he's just
one. Hey John, where are you? Back your boy, bro.
I think Paqueta's one of them players that has just been a bit one of them overhyped footballers.
I don't want him. I didn't because I know we were. I wasn't really on him.
Is he at West Ham?
Yeah, but then we can't say that because these times everyone's looking at Declan Rice like, oh, I want him and he's at West Ham. And I've always said when you're looking at certain players,
I don't want Declan Rice after that England game. I've seen the real Declan.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm done. I'm done.
When I look at certain players, as long as if you're like, it's a bit like the whole thing about. Sorry, John. I think it's a bit like the whole thing when everyone used to speak about about Jack Grealish before. Now, me personally, I've never been a fan because I've always said he's never been a player who's done it at the highest level. And until I see that, I can't then say he's of that level because he's never actually done it, i.e. never played Champions League football. It's impossible for you to be claimed as a good player of that ilk if you've never even played Champions League football. It doesn't even make sense because that's the highest of club level football. Now, when people for example, mention Saliba and stuff, I'm like, it's impossible for him to be in the conversation because he's not played at the highest level. Once he does play at that level, and then we see that, no problem. We've seen Jack Grealish at the highest level now for England, playing in finals, for Champions League, for Man City. Has he really done that well? I feel like he's been better at an Aston Villa than he has ever been at a Manchester City. Why? Because he was a big on kind of thing. He's not been shit, definitely not been shit, but he's definitely not been someone where you're like, that's the guy at this type of level. Forget his goals, forget his assists, forget all of the numbers crap. If we're just going to go on the type of player, then, you know what I mean? Something's not really adding up with someone like him. And that's how I look at a lot of these players.
Do you not think that he's exactly the kind of winger that we were talking about earlier, where you're not looking at him to get output necessarily? He's got a very specific role in the setup. And he can have a sick, I'm not going to lie, I've seen Grealish have 6 games, no goals, no assists. You come on, you've understood the assignment. You see Pep hugging him up when he comes off on that.
And this is where I look at it, because I'm looking at it thinking I'm caught in between the two with him, because even in the games that we can say, and I admit, I totally agree with you, there has been games where you looked at Jack Grealish and thought, yo, man, like today's been good. You didn't even need to score assists, and you don't. Like let's forget all the number stuff. Like that's all. I leave the number stuff to the forwards and strikers, man. Like anyone else is just wishy-washy.
And you know what? If you get numbers, Benzema come out and said he's that I'm fed up of this generation. You can play bad for 90 minutes, but you can get a goal, and all of a sudden you're this great player. He said, I'll never want to be that striker. Like he said, he'll rather play. He actually said in one interview, I'd rather play well the full 90 and not really have any numbers to my name than players that just Benzema. Yeah, you don't rate him,
so he should be worried about numbers. Weak mentality.
I mean, Ballon d'Or might say different, but yeah.
Ballon d'Or.
That's why is that why I let Ronaldo do all the work and get all the goals?
Listen, Benzema, that's a whole different, because I've never put that. He's not in my top 10 strikers.
No, I don't know. He got Ballon d'Or.
What of this generation?
It just links. All time. It just links.
All time now, he's not even close. But in terms of
this generation, he's top 10.
I'm fed up of this numbers thing. It's relative to your position, but the numbers thing can get boring.
What generation are we talking about, though? Like
this current generation we're in now, Benzema top 10.
What's this current generation? Like, where's your cutoff? Like in the
Lewandowski, like his age group, innit?
So you can go from like 10 years ago then, or like last 10 years, from 2012 till now, top 10 easily.
He's in the top 10.
Easily. He's probably even top 7, 6.
Top 20, maybe.
Top 5, bro.
Look how low that you put, man. Top 7, 6. Like,
he's top 5.
I wouldn't say top 5-ish.
Name 3 better strikers than Benzema if you think there's 3 better strikers.
In this generation.
Suarez.
Kane, Suarez, Lewandowski. Yeah.
Fernando Torres was better than Benzema.
Even Aguero.
You guys think Kane's better than Benzema?
Kane's the best number 9
as a striker, yeah, I would have Kane over
Kane
Benzema.
is so underrated.
Kane walks all over Benzema. Walks all over him.
Even the Haaland debate, yeah, this is an uncomfortable conversation. And I don't want to make this into a debate, but when people are like Haaland's the better number 9, I'm like, no,
Haaland ain't that good of a footballer.
I know, but it's like, no, he scores more. But if you look at the variety of finishes, Haaland can only really 1 or 2 types of finishes. Kane, I looked at his highlight for Tottenham. Every time.
No, okay. If we're gonna do that, then Ruud van Nistelrooy was a dead striker because he only had 1 or 2 finishes in his locker. But this guy had those on.
I'm not saying Haaland or Nistelrooy are dead, but I don't like when people are saying Haaland's better number 9 than Kane because the point of a whole strike is to score goals, but it's your variety of goals as well. Harry Kane scores a lot, and
I wouldn't put him there now. He's too young anyway. Like I don't feel like and as John said here, like you got to kind of, you know what I'm saying, you got to respect Kane's catalogue. He's scored
Harry Kane is an all-round better footballer than Haaland. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, of course. Do you know what I mean? Because of the positions and shit. But remember, that wasn't Kane before. Let's not pretend and act like Kane was dropping deep and banging out wide. And
career,
you know what I mean? Like he was just scored. He's
always had variety in his finishes, though. I will give him that.
Yeah, okay, in the type of finishes. Yeah,
they're dropping deep things like the last 3-4 years, but I rate that as well.
Yeah, Mourinho. I'm telling you, Mourinho changed that game.
Yeah, Mourinho's done for that. But yeah, we kind of moved off topic, innit? But it's
let's go.
Yeah, Jesus. What was the next game? Brazil. We spoke about Brazil.
Last game.
Let's just round it up. Obviously, Brazil qualify comfortably along with France. I think they're the only 2, aren't they? And Portugal.
Portugal, France, Portugal. Brazil. That's it.
And Portugal.
Proper nation. She's getting it done. 30 age. Now, you remember when we spoke about if Trent gets minutes? It's these games they can now give their fringe players because there's less pressure.
Man, what did I tell you before the tournament? We're not seeing Trent out of his bib the whole time. He's not getting.
I thought he would get maximum 5 minutes in this third game. I thought England would have already qualified by now, so Southgate can kind of mix it up.
Even then, I said he's either going to bring Kyle Walker in. He's either going to bring Kyle Walker for minutes or Ben White. I said Trent's not getting minutes, bro.
I'd have Ben White over Trippier right now. I can't be watching Trippier anymore.
Yeah,
I would back you on that. I'd Ben White there anyway.
My man behind me is playing tomorrow, so get ready for it.
Yeah, I know, bro.
So England are in the mud because you've got now you're going to have who? What? Declan Rice and Jordan Henderson in the midfield. That is the most ugliest midfield I've ever heard of. Like,
it's just going to be what Liverpool going to be next season, isn't it?
Bro, that's what JJ. That's what you want. Little Curtis Jones in there as well. You'll be happy with that, bro.
What Curtis Mason and Rice with Henderson coming on as first sub.
Bro.
Inject it.
Curtis Mason and Rice will be.
That is plain basmati. No, nothing. Not even a little.
Plain as basmati, boy, and it's soggy as well. Like
it's the bag rice. It's the rice you get in the bag, the little packet thing.
Yeah.
It's that microwavable Uncle Ben.
Not even Uncle Ben's, bro. Not even Uncle Ben's. Uncle Ben's has got a little something in it.
Tesco everything brand, man. Like
it's plain rice. Tesco own brand bag. The boiler bag.
The boiler bag,
bro.
Yeah, the boiler bag. Literally the boiler bag.
The little boiler bag with a little handle on the top.
Quickly. Who wants us to sign Declan Rice? Quickly.
I did before the World Cup, and then I've seen the real Declan Rice.
It's not Rice so much. If I see Mason Mount, Mason Mount in a Liverpool shirt, bro.
Yeah, that's where.
So you wouldn't have Rice with the number 8 and Mason with the number 10.
No, allow me. Please, allow me. Run you own this as well. Run you own this as well. You must be crazy, bro. You must be crazy.
If we're talking about we have money and we can actually go out and buy players,
and that's what we get.
Any of them.
No, but gee, the maddest thing is we would need money to get them because Rice is going to cost peas. Mount is going to cost peas. We're going to need at least.
I said to just Liverpool's luck is we're going to get the poorest Saudi and Qatar ownership you've ever seen in your life.
Don't say that.
Have you not clocked? nothing's ever easy for us. Like even the Champions League final when we beat Spurs, like it was a 2-0, but the scoreline flat to deceive. They were the better team. Even the coach, we finally
scored at the beginning and right at the end as well.
Yeah, and it's like we finally win the Premier League. Yes. Oh, COVID hits out. We're just that unfortunate club. Like nothing goes
it's true, man.
It's true. It's
just jarring.
I think Calvin Phillips.
Last season, sorry to cut you, JJ. The 2 cup wins, perfect example as well. They both go to penalties, and there's that same score.
No goals in either game.
Even Cardiff took us to penalties. That we don't do nothing easily. Like it's so annoying. Or when we do something well, it's just ruined.
Yeah, it's like we're winning the league comfortably, and then God went, nah,
exactly.
I mean, no parade, innit? No parade. But it's mad. Like
we had the parade. We had the parade last season.
Jamie on the show, and some people in the chat were saying it as well. It was like we're the type to obviously go and get the Saudi owners, but they're like the poorest out of all of them. So in the grand scheme of things, Newcastle, PSG, Man United, and Newcastle all obviously spend more than us, but we get that tier above. So like for the first, like, do you know what I mean? For the first time in our history, we can buy 4 players for 30 million, but them man buy 80 million pound players in it and buy 4 of them in the season. And we're just like, yeah, like we've got Matheus Nunes and Barella and someone else. Do you know what I mean? And it's just crazy.
So get used to it, because in the summer we are having a midfielder, Declan Rice, Henderson, and Mason Mount. It's happening.
Listen.
I'm here for Mount.
Forget Liverpool, because they're shite in the mud, and I don't even give 2 shits about that.
Back to this last game.
Yeah, because I'm tired of Liverpool.
Oh, let's talk about the great Bruno Fernandes.
Oh yeah.
Who rates him here?
I think Bruno Fernandes is a very, very good footballer.
No recency bias. Forget what he's done in this World Cup. Cool. Let me ask you this, Ish. I know Jerry's been rating Fernandes.
Good footballer.
Would you rate Fernandes before these last 2 games, Ish?
Since Ten Hag, I said since Ten Hag came in, he's actually been coached.
Okay.
He was not being coached before. With Ollie, it was, get me goals and assists. I don't care how you do it. So, bro, Ronaldo even said Ollie was playing clips of the 99 Cup final before matches. This guy's confirmed everything we believed about him. Every bozo in this
his own hype.
He just proved it. So now Ten Hag is saying you can't do this hero ball thing anymore. You can't just pop up wherever you want, go press on your own. Like you're seeing now, he actually looks like an 8, or he's playing in right wing. But he looks disciplined in his role.
Listen,
and he brought that to the World Cup. That goal he scored today, whether it's a goal or assist or whatever, sick goal.
Could have had an hat-trick. Yeah,
he could have. Yeah, 2 more chances.
Bruno Fernandes is a good footballer that just got put in a system at Man United that never helped him, because the season that he was flourishing when he came in that January and went through that spell and looked amazing, they went and bought Ronaldo, who plays in that position, so he couldn't go anywhere.
He was getting overrated as well a little bit. Not because he was shit, but he was getting over. The Cantona chance were starting straight away.
But you know what it is?
KDB comparisons, bro. The KDB.
Yeah, that's the one that rattled me.
But again, remember, we live in a day and age where it's all about the stats and the numbers. So when he's getting those stats and numbers, of course, in this day and age, you can't say anything. You can't say anything to someone like, for example, as Jamie mentioned earlier, how can you say anything to Salah or Benzema mentioning about the whole, people go through, like Salah has been shite in some games, but he'll get a goal randomly. I'm like,
what am I trying to do? Score?
No, of course. But then if you're playing shit all game and you've contributed to 0, and you then out of accident, for example, the goal the goal that Carvalho scores,
the Fulham one.
No, the goal that Carvalho scores against Newcastle to make it 2-1. Salah gets the most dodgy. That's another assist for Salah now. That adds to his numbers. But he played shit the whole game. But that adds to his numbers, though. But you didn't contribute to any part of that game in a positive.
But then you can be a Gabriel Jesus who doesn't get any good numbers at all, but everyone raves about him. Now,
because he makes the
impact.
I don't want that impact stuff. I said this about Bobby for 7 years, and everyone told me that it's not a real thing.
Yeah, but you're talking about those people. Forget those people. They don't know.
If you know Ball, you know Bobby.
You can't talk about Bobby being number 9.
And I agree. They did.
But no, Gabriel Jesus is a decent player, but no, I want my striker. I don't care if my strikers have bad games. If he's winning us football matches and getting 20-odd goals a season, he's doing his job as far as I'm concerned.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
The two go hand in hand, of course. But if you do have those games, and Bruno...
there should be 10 other players on the pitch that are picking up.
Was you ever mad at Bobby then?
I love Bobby.
We were still winning things, but he wasn't getting the goals that.
Because I knew what Bobby was.
No, but then he started to reach a point where he was just actually.
But that's what Jesus does for Arsenal.
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is, Arsenal fans used to. Don't you remember Arsenal Man United fans used to tell us that Bobby can't be a defensive striker. He's a number 9. He can't be.
As soon as Arteta came in and Lacazette started doing that role, they were like, "Yeah, Lacazette."
Yeah, that's the one. Oh no, yeah, that's it. You know.
Yeah,
that's what I get at. Yeah.
Lacazette's thing was always dead. I never rated that. Jesus' thing, I'm rated. He's actually playing well.
Jesus is the reason why Martinelli and Saka are playing so well. That's why
Bobby's the reason Mane and Salah was so good.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. 100%. He makes in that system. They just make them sit, and that's why I look at when we're talking about Bruno. He was playing in a system for under Oli where it was like, as you said, this hero ball thing is like he looks shit now when he doesn't get a goal or assist because he's contributing to nothing else of the game because he's not scoring or assisting. Now he actually looks like a proper 8. Like forget today and forget this tournament. I'm watching him for Ten Hag and I'm like, like where was like you're not getting as many goals or assists, but the way you're playing, you look better.
Well.
Yeah, you just look better.
Do you think he's technically good? Because I think it depends how you measure technique. Because for me, striking off the ball, as much as I've got agendas on Bruno, he is amazing. I've seen him ping balls, his shot, his cross, everything. So dead ball specialist, striking the ball is wicked. But if you're asking, I don't know, you may have seen him. If you're asking him, because there's technique in other ways, like your touch, your awareness, and that, I'm not expecting him to bring a ball down from 40 yards and kill it there. That sort of technique, I don't rate him high in that regard.
But you know what it is, Romz? I compare him to Salah. Because like it doesn't look. They're capable of doing sick things, and technically they obviously are good, but it just looks a bit weird sometimes. It's a bit unorthodox. You know when you see Salah dribbling sometimes.
I don't think Bruno's always that unorthodox though. Like even today when he nutmegged the brother, do you know what I mean, for the handball?
Yeah, I feel like that's natural to him.
It doesn't look that.
I've never looked at Bruno and said, right, this guy just looks weird, but
yeah, I feel like he's kind of.
If I see him and KDB make the same pass, it looks better on KDB. I don't know why. It looks better. Let's not talk about Salah right now. But even though I made a comparison, but see with Bruno, him and KDB can make the same pass, but it'll just look better when KDB does it. I don't have to.
I agree.
Bruno, it looks a bit forced. It looks a bit accidental sometimes, but it's the same end product. That's what you got to rate. You can't really chat Bruno.
And what Bruno's got to stop doing is letting Ronaldo take set pieces because he's. You know,
yeah, man. You start talking him.
Bruno's far better at set pieces. When was last time Ronaldo scored one?
He scored one free kick in the last 90, bro. He scored one free kick in the last 90.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure Nike probably pay him a lot of money for him to be over the free kicks and stand like that because that pose has become like iconic.
Yeah.
When he stands like that, they probably get so much money of him wearing the Nike gear, standing in that pose. I mean, hoping if this goes in, this is another moment in it, like that Nike have got under their bags from an athlete. He's got to come on.
You wouldn't even be lying, man, because money makes the world go round as it is, and in football, advertisement is everything. So that wouldn't even surprise me. I've seen that in adverts before where he's done that in that whole stance. And
wait for him to retire.
We talked about
wait for him to retire.
Yeah, we talk about the Brazilian talent in their squad. This Portuguese team have got some talent, man. There is some talent in this squad. But,
talk to me about Leao. Someone talk to me about Leao.
Rafael Leao, I don't.
He ain't moving me like that.
Yeah, he's not moving me like that. Like
everyone told me, I got told he was the best young winger in the world, right? On the YouTube channel, right? Got told he's best. So I watched him. I've not seen him play before. The only 2 times I've seen him play seasons were Chelsea games. I was like, so when's he going to do something? You know, because he's like bigged up. He's not even that quick. I'm like,
when he gets going, he is.
He's when he gets going. I mean, I'm great in bed when I get going. Don't mean I'm good. You know what I mean? But it depends when you get going, though. But this Leao, man, he's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think another hyped player.
You know what it is?
He's probably got a FIFA card.
Even Gakpo as well. Even though he scored 2 goals, I put Gakpo in that bracket as well. I watch him. I was like, you don't.
I don't know about Gakpo. Yeah, exactly.
Bro, he did nothing that game, and he scored a banger. But other than that, he wasn't saying much.
You know what it is? We're seeing play I think what we're seeing from these players is that for now, anyway, I don't know what's going to happen to them in the future. For now, we're seeing almost like we've seen some of their best bits, and then we're seeing obviously now they're mad young. So they're young, so they're in positions now where these next 2-3 years, if they're able to refine their game enough, because you got to remember, look, look at Salah when he was young. Salah did not look good on the ball or anything. He was just rapid. Like Salah was
Salah when he came on, you looking like an Adama. Like you'd thought
yes.
him in that
yes.
bracket.
All right.
Salah didn't come good until like 26, 25, 26.
When he was playing,
he wasn't good until he got to like Roma. Until he got to Roma,
when he played for Basel, he used to be techie, man. He used to dribble past.
Nah, he was, but he was like stiff techie, like super stiff techie. Like.
Look when he came to Chelsea, he was nothing, bro.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing was really sticking with him. But like now, when you're watching him, even though he's still relatively stiff, there's obviously, you know what I mean. Now there's a lot more refined, kind of thing. So I think when I'm looking at like Leao, I am thinking. I do think you can actually be a good player because you've got the attributes to be one. But right now, some of the like even when you're on the pitch, I'm watching you, and then I saw Bruno as well. And some of the decisions that Leao was making today, it's like you could tell Bruno was just getting frustrated with him because it's like,
weird, isn't it? But it's weird, isn't it? Because we're getting a lot of these strikers now. Like I put them like they're not strikers because he's playing out wide, but he's got the striker, and he's in that same mold of like a Nunes.
Yes. Yeah.
Leao, they're all just
none of them are techie. I just realized none of these guys are techie.
João Felix, the biggest fraud in football. I don't care, right? I don't care.
He's my guy, so I don't really care about him, boy.
Everyone tells me, right? Oh, João Felix can't do what he's doing because he's Atletico Madrid. Simeone's got him tied down. Well, how did Suarez get top goal scorer in Spain playing for Atletico Madrid? Had some players actually? How did what's the French geezer? Griezmann get third in the Ballon d'Or playing for Atletico Madrid, get the eye Barcelona. These players didn't flourish. Why do we give João Felix this excuse? Because he's playing for Portugal at the moment, still looks average.
You know what? I'll agree with you to a certain extent. I've always have João Felix. There's sentiment. I've watched him from a youth, but you're right. I think overrated don't mean you're bad, but I think even I've been guilty of this. I've overrated him because now I'm seeing and the lights on, like he's kind of, you know that Lupe Fiasco song, Superstar. If you are who you say you are, like you've got to show. And whenever I'm seeing him,
then have no fear. That's
a tune. But
yo, that's a bagger.
I'm seeing him when the pressure's been on, and even some Atletico games when he has started. You know one where you back to a player so much, but when they're finally doing bad, like you take time to admit it. But inside, you already know it's like Fabinho. I already knew Fabinho was dead, but I had to admit it 2 months later because I just had to hold on to that agenda. With João Felix, I have to be honest now. It's like, yo, you got to do more. You've had the light on you for time now, and Jamie's right. I've been guilty of this as well. I hold my hands up. We're always blaming Simeone's system, but then you've had strikers that have flourished under it. The Suarez, the Griezmann, that are not even as agile as him, that probably didn't have the ability he had. Actually, Suarez did, but Griezmann, I know Griezmann at 2021, Griezmann started to get good around 24, 25. He weren't as highly touted as João Felix is at João Felix's game. So he needs to do a bit more.
João Felix is a talented boy as well. There's no doubt about that. But
like he's another one like Havertz. Like, what's your position, bro? Like, what? Like, are you a winger? Are you a 10? Are you a false 9? Like,
it reminds me. He reminds me of Oscar. He reminds me.
I'll never forget Jerry killed me when he said this. You know, when I'm not going to bring off his name because they say it in an agenda show. You know, when you're at certain places, people should rate them because they have the hand out and they look like they're flary. That is João Felix still. I'm not going to lie.
I think João Felix plays behind the striker. You can play a 4-4-1-1 like Havertz and play him as that shadow striker. I think that's
potentially. Not as a winger. I wouldn't put it on the wing. He just looks a little bit.
No, it's like,
and you lot are right. There's me ranting and raving him for Porto and Benfica, but it's like cool. Now you've made that jump.
The lights are on. The lights are bright, man.
But before we even, obviously, I know.
One second, G. Ish, I know you've got to obviously head out and stuff. So big up for obviously tuning in. Make sure to hit up Ish, the Equalizer on Insta. Greatest captions. Yeah, I mean the Black Star one. I think that was one of my favorites at the moment.
That one's been bookmarked. I tell you.
I have to go hard for the homeland, bro. Had to.
So make sure you're all checking that out. The links are in the description as well. We put out. We're gonna have to do that more. I have to screenshot. We're gonna put an excerpt or a bit of the caption in every show to make sure you guys are checking that out, man. But listen, Ish, Big up as always, man. Big up as always.
Big up everyone, man. Enjoy. You guys in the chat, make sure you're liking and subscribing and that as well for Jerry, man. It's quality content. This is nearly 2 hours of just vibes, man. Vibes and analysis. But yeah, love my guys. Big up.
Cool. Big up.
Hey Kendall, come and back your boy. This João Felix brother. We need you to come in here and come and back your boy because the way he's moving at the moment is a little bit higgy. But we'll get onto him later on. Who I wanted to get onto though, and we're not shying away.
No, we're not. The stream's done. The stream's done. You lot, thank you for that.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Now the stream's done. When I wanted to, me and Jerry, we had a little bet before the tournament. Jerry said to me, look, I said to Jerry, sorry, if Núñez is top goal scorer and obviously Uruguay go far, then I will go and buy a Núñez top and wear it on every single stream. We are now 2 games with only 1 left to go, and Donny ain't got no goal, no assist, and he's looking like the guy I kept telling you that.
Hard for me because I
can say this about Valverde as well.
But Valverde has been very easily way better than Darwin.
Even today.
It doesn't even matter about where we think.
I thought Darwin was actually all right today, but he didn't.
He wasn't good. His battles with Pepe, none really existent, bar one where he rolled him. I
know this don't mean much. You're going to shut me down, right?
I'm going to shut you down, but go on, please.
Darwin went on a little run. Did go on. You saw that, Jamie, innit? Darwin went on a little run. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, and then there was a time when he almost fell over the ball on the right-hand side. Then there was a time when
he luckily got the pass off, innit?
Luckily. I was like, brother, what are you doing? Like, just
Darwin was shot. There's no excuse.
You know what it is? I keep watching too much Pete BOC. So I'm starting to love Darwin how he loves him. But I get sad when people diss him now.
If Darwin's shit for Uruguay and good for Liverpool, I don't give a crap. You know?
No. Listen.
I want him to do well.
All jokes aside, I'm not. This tournament, it's got nothing to do with Darwin anyway, because the reality is, from what I'm watching of Uruguay, they're not really feeding him in the way that I would have thought they were going to actually use him in this tournament anyway. Because in the first game, he was being used. Big up that as well. In the first game, he was used on the left-hand side with obviously Suarez kind of just floating in the middle, and he saw that he was kind of in the game a lot more. In this game, he was playing as a 2 with Cavani.
It
just didn't work at all. And to be honest, I'll be real, it was really until he came off did they start really kind of
Suarez should have scored, man.
It was a tough chance. It was a tough chance.
Was it Lopez hitting the post when he came on as well?
Yeah. But it's almost like they started to just move a lot more fluently on the pitch. And I felt like because Darwin is such a threat, regardless of what anyone thinks, Darwin is such a threat going forward. They try to, I feel like, always find him. And if you can't always find him, you're then neglecting everything else. So then players like your Valverde's or whoever, that fast fucking winger from Manchester United who came on the pitch and were just burning everyone. Where did he come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they start neglecting those kind of players. So that's why I'm looking at Núñez and I'm just like, obviously I'm poking fun, but I can see regardless that Uruguay are just not really using him properly, and he's not going to score if he's being played.
Do you know what it is with Núñez? And I think I've started to realize he has to be the main man.
Effectively,
to get the maximum out of him, he has to be the main man where everything goes through him. Whether it's working, whether it's not, it has to go through him. Because even at Liverpool, we tried to go and do that, and when he was the main man, remember, he was getting the chances, but he weren't scoring, and we were struggling like that. Now Salah's become the kind of main man, and Darwin's had good performances, but I don't think this is the best that we're going to see of Darwin. If Darwin performs like this for the rest of his Liverpool career, I'm not going to be satisfied with that. Do you know what I mean? Like, in terms of what we paid for him and stuff. I'm on the train, but I still want to see him get to that next level. But I don't see that if Liverpool and if Uruguay don't use him in the same way a Benfica did.
I think Liverpool using him right the last month when he's playing on the left-hand side. Last month at Liverpool, I think they're using him better because
we're seeing him more effective.
I said this to G. You notice that Salah has become a better player when Darwin's playing on the left because he's giving Salah more space. because of his because Darwin is just so focused on just running at goal. You know, he just runs into everybody, don't he? That's just why he is. He's just a freight train. And it's opened up space for Mo. So it's working from that. And then with Uruguay today, as you say, every time they get the ball, they're just looking for him constantly.
Yeah.
And the passes are shite. And he's looking at the game. And when he gets in the game, he's been heavily marked as well because they do know he is a threat. But look, he's not good enough at the moment for Uruguay. There's no doubt about it. I love
it. It's not just him.
It's all of them.
It's all of them. Yeah, it's not just him.
Bentancur looks their best player this World Cup.
Yeah, probably.
Him or Valverde. Yeah, one of them. They both had, Valverde was better in the first game.
And then Bentancur.
But that's what it is with Nunes, is that even though he's been playing better, if Nunes just had, like, let's say he played like this consistently, but for Liverpool, like the way he's done in the last couple months, for me, that's still not good enough. Like, I'm on the Nunes train, and everyone knows that. But for me, there's still another level for him to go up. Like, this is decent for now. So what I'm trying to say is, I don't see him getting to that next level if it doesn't just become about him.
I think it will in Uruguay eventually, because Suarez is going to go.
Of course.
Cavani's going to go.
At Liverpool, that's what worries me. That's what worries me at Liverpool. Because what happens then is when we try to go and make it all about him, Salah's game had to get nullified. Now he's going and playing on the left. If Diaz plays or if someone else plays, that gets nullified. Whoever plays up front, if we played Jota up front, his game would get nullified if you played him and Nunes. Because now he's not going to have the same role. That's why Bobby, for me, is working really well this season. Because Bobby's not someone that's looking to go and be that focal point.
Bobby, look, I've said it before. If you notice when Bobby, Darwin and Salah are playing, it is sort of similar to Mane, Salah and Bobby. Bobby is still the system.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the problem for me, because we're trying to evolve from that. Well, I thought we were going to get a number 9, which I still think he can be, but the only way
he's not an out-and-out 9
is everything has to be evolved around him. It has to be, it goes into him. He sets out wide. The number 10 is always looking for him. The wide player is always looking for him. If it doesn't work like that...
fingers crossed it can, because if he can, he's going to be a tremendous talent.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt about that.
Is Jerry's still on the train, but the train's a bit slow now, and he's a new locomotive. But Jerry just wants to know it's going to get changed so he can stay on that train.
I'm on that train, man.
I'm on the train, but I'm not sure. You know, I'm looking at the what's it called? The automated reader that tells you where the destination of the train, and it hasn't come round yet. It's still showing me the last bit of where the other train was going. So it was that
still stuck in Charing Cross.
I'm just waiting.
You know, separately, one time I went on a slow train, like them steam trains to Manchester, and the locomotive died, and the train just stopped. Bro. I was like, what the fuck?
And right now, I'm kind of happy that, you know, I at the moment, I'm not sweating that I've missed the train, because I feel that I'll be able to catch the next one for a different guy. I know Jerry's on the Network Rail, but I might be able to get the Southern Railway. Like, I feel like the Southern Railway is coming soon. Like, I feel like it's coming real soon. I'm just hoping that Liverpool pattern up in that way and we can get,
I personally
Elizabeth line maybe.
I personally think Darwin's a left-sided forward. I don't think it's another 9.
But okay, so I'll stop you right there. I'll stop you right there. This is why I laugh, because nobody, and I do mean nobody,
when we signed it,
no one said this when we signed it. Everyone thought this is the number 9. Everyone said, yeah, this is the guy that's supposed to come in. Jurgen Klopp pointed him out.
Sometimes you have to try on a pair of jeans to know if they fit how you want them to fit. That we needed to play.
That's like he stepped in Zara and saw the jeans. We're like, right, these are the barmaid things I saw. You put them on, and it's just like, hey, I'm looking like a bad bee in this. Like, it's hugging me in all the wrong places. Like, I'm gonna have to.
I know it makes you laugh.
Maybe the Levi's fit me a bit.
I like that analogy still.
By the way, I'm not saying I want him to play on the left. He has been more effective on the left, but I agree with you. We bought him as a 9. Play your bloody position.
Play your bloody position, bro.
What I'm trying to say is, let's say it's not working and we then have to play him as a left winger. But I think you alluded to it weeks ago, G. If that then happens, what the hell does that mean for Luis Diaz?
Bro, what does it mean? Yeah. Like, Luis Diaz is just going to be out here just twerking on the bench, trying to go.
What I've heard from some people is that Klopp wants to play Luis Diaz central.
He's not good
enough. Central where? What?
He wants to play through the middle. He wants playing through the middle.
As a midfielder?
No, it's a 9. It's a false 9. And he's going to play Darwin at the left.
You to go and get why is my manager?
Where's the role? Where's the role?
Like, does it make sense that you bought a striker to put him left, but you bought a left to put him up front? Like, who are you?
This is why when I don't know if you heard the song, Jamie, of the guy who sings about Nunes. This is why when Pete VOC said it's frightening with him and Luis Diaz, I'm laughing because they're the two exact players that don't complement each other. So
I think they complement each other if Darwin's on the left, weirdly. And I think that's what Klopp's thinking.
What do you think? No, I know Klopp's doing that, but do you think that will work?
I think it might work. I think it might work because I see Diaz go central quite a lot, and he still looks decent there.
Yeah, but
I literally think to complement both of them, you've got to play Darwin left and Diaz central, not the other way around.
Diaz will have to sharpen up when he's finishing.
One of them just don't play.
How about you just go and buy a striker, and then we don't have to worry
about it. Then we said, how many good strikers is there about?
Jamie, I'm pretty sure if we all sat here for the next 20 minutes, we could probably, and I would prefer
to got enough injuries, Romz.
Luis Diaz. You get like, you know what? This is the world.
Then G, you know what Klopp would say to you? Do you know what Klopp would say to you? He's never had a striker at Liverpool, and we're always one of the top goal scorers in Europe.
I hear you, bro. But guess what? They're not coming from our striker. The point is, they're not coming from a striker, though. And the issue now that he has is that
is a striker.
No. But the problem he's going to have, and this is why I keep saying we need to evolve and get a striker, is because we don't have another Salah, we don't have another Mane who can replicate the goals that they've got. Diaz is not getting you Mane goals, and we don't even have a right winger.
Darwin will. I think Darwin will get.
Okay, cool. So one player out of the Jota, Diaz, and whoever else is going to get you the goals that Salah, Mane, and whoever else can get you.
That's why we're looking at Gakpo. Yeah.
And
no. Sorry, can I stop it here?
Imagine having Gakpo, Salah, and Nunes as a forward line.
That's just hella runs off the pitch and bobbles off the pitch. And you know what? Yeah,
no tech, just bare runs.
And Leao coming off the bench as well.
This is sounding too Liverpoolish. Let's get back to the game.
Yeah, you're right.
Sorry about that, guys. Sorry. You know, sometimes it just comes out, and man, like it just.
I want to give someone
a Darwin, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's the main trigger.
I want to give someone honourable mention because he plays for City, but you see Bernardo, he needs to leave. He needs to leave. He is different. Like, we know he's class, but it's that it doesn't matter what game, what system, what team he thrives. He just looks a level above. For me, I'll go as far as saying he's Portugal's best player. I know Bruno has a say in that as well, but in terms of the most influential, he might not get the numbers that Bruno gets, but he is the City. He's doing everything. Everything is running through him. It's like the back four thing.
Isn't it?
Yeah. It's like the back four thing. Not anyone on the pitch. The back four, the midfield, or the strikers. They think, let's get into Bernardo's feet. It's like, there's going to be a stage in this tournament when they hit the knockouts where I think Portugal will be behind. I know you have that one guy you turn to in your team, your talent to try and do something for you. Some people say some people still stupid to say CR7, but I think most Portugal fans will probably say for this tournament, it's Bruno. For me, it's Bernardo. I think he will be that guy to get them over the line or get them out of a pressured situation.
I agree.
Barca need to sign him. Someone needs to take him off City soon.
He's different, man. He's different.
Yeah, I feel like with someone like, for me, he's always been alongside KDB. Like KDB is like the superstar. But for me, my favorite Man City midfielder has always been Bernardo. So I've always said,
I think City are worse when actually he don't play out of him and De Bruyne.
Oh yeah. You noticed it.
I said this on the Gals channel, right? When he was injured and stuff, everyone was like, "Oh, if KDB and Haaland get injured, City are pissed." I said, "No, they're not, because Alvarez is not as good as Haaland, but he can come on and still put in a shift." And I've always said, City's midfield isn't best when KDB's not there, but it's more fluid. When Bernard, remember in the title, I think the season we won the league, when KDB was injured for a lot of that, he was playing a bit more advanced. He had his best numbers. People complain about his numbers. He actually had his best return when he had Rodri and Gundogan next to just behind him or alongside him, and he was the more advanced. I think he's more fluent, but I think that guy, he's ridiculous. I even said, some people were like, "Oh, you're crazy." And again, this is what I was saying earlier. It depends how you measure it.
quality.
It depends. Literally, Jamie, and it depends how you measure technique. At striking the ball, dead ball specialist, KDB's better. But actual touch control, for me, KDB's City's most technical player in that aspect. Not dead balls, not striking the ball, but touch control. He's a joke.
He's the reason why Kevin. He's the reason. He's the reason.
They're jarring. You know, they've got like 4 players of just the.
He's the reason De Bruyne has so much space on the pitch.
Yeah, again, exactly that. Exactly. He's the reason why.
It's both of them because you can't leave De Bruyne open, so De Bruyne gives space for Bernardo Silva to get into as well. And
then you can't leave Bernardo open.
Jamie, I mean, you've got a massive point. I mean, earlier when you said about Portugal having a stacked team, Dad Matois Nunes coming off the bench.
Oh, did you see the spin? Jesus, guys,
do you remember his run at the bridge? He's quite quick with the ball.
Portugal. I think the way it's going, they could have an understated run to, I think, the semi-finals or something like that. And I wouldn't be surprised.
You think they're defensively good, though? That's where I worry.
I don't think there's a lot of defensively good teams in the World Cup.
Think about it. I know defensively, they might, I know against Ghana, they conceded 2, which is a bit odd. I know the keeper's garbage. He's the one from Porto that we
I actually just think that it's just because Ghana caught them off guard. I don't think that would probably happen again, really.
But sitting back, they're actually a very conservative team.
Yeah.
You see, they just don't press. They're like, all right, then have the ball. Very tournament football. So they actually could have. They're the team to actually have.
They're my dark horses. I'm gonna say it.
You know what? I had them as flops of the tournament. And
they might go as my dark horses now.
But who did I have flops of the tournament, Jerry? Do you have it?
Let me see.
I think I might have had. Oh, I'm being proven right here. I think it was Belgium or Portugal was one of them.
All I'm saying is,
you had De Bruyne, so Belgium. You had De Bruyne as yours.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I'm not listening to any of you bloody fans anymore because you all chat shit. Yeah, I believe the hype. I was like, yeah, man. You know what, Uruguay. Guess what? Now you know what? Let me just back Darwin Nunes and this guy fucking
Jimenez.
I was like, yeah.
It's because everyone looked at Uruguay's midfield, didn't they? Uruguay got the midfield they play
on paper. They got
on paper is a tremendous midfield, but man. If you actually look at Uruguay, they're dead slow.
Oh man, they're slow. Their build-up play is like.
Do you remember how much goals I said Nunes would get?
Oh, the fullbacks. Oh, they're so rubbish.
Do you remember how much goals I said Nunes would get? And you just laughed because you just knew he wouldn't. Do you remember how much?
You said
5, bro. I said Nunes.
5.
But even I knew 5 was even. I didn't think it was 0, but I didn't think 5. That's a lot.
He's got 5 in that 2 World Cups.
Like that. 5 is a hard number.
I was just getting too gas.
They Uruguay, the way that they play, and when they were playing against, as Jerry said, Portugal were happy for Uruguay to have the ball, but it was almost like Uruguay didn't really want the ball because they didn't really know what to do with it when they had the ball. So it was almost like Portugal were almost getting baffed by how shit Uruguay were because they were trying to figure out, well, we don't mind you having the ball, but then at the same time, you almost don't want the ball. So then when we get the ball, Bernardo Silva comes into play. Bruno, William Carvalho, again, someone who's good at screening that back 4 to then allow these guys to be able to just play. Like he's someone I kind of like a lot. I like him a lot. He went a bit quiet for the last few seasons, but I feel like in the last
there was a period when West Ham were trying to get him in it and they just couldn't get it over the line.
That kind of period there, he went quiet, and then now, obviously, just this tournament, I feel like I've seen looks all right. Looks okay.
I wouldn't be shocked if if Portugal got to a semi-final of this World Cup.
You know what? I would.
You wouldn't actually shock me, because they know how to play tournament football. You look at them in the last 2 tournaments; they know how to play tournament football, and they wouldn't shock me, man, if they got there.
And their bench, Nuno Mendes comes off injured, and look at your left back who's coming on. Are you fucking crazy? Guerrero, this is your backup. This is the guy that you're bringing on as a backup. Come on, man, like that kind of quality is difficult to just replay. I'm not saying Bruno Guerrero is that great, but to have that as your understudy,
he's good. He's a good left.
Yeah, if anything,
I will say Ruben Diaz looks a bit.
I was just about to say that.
You know what? All the hype that I was hearing about Diaz, they need to shut it. When they were talking about him being better than Virgil after 1 season, I said, how does that even make sense? And now, in the last 18 months, he has been dead. he has been so dead, in my personal opinion.
John Stones,
someone who's rated so highly.
John Stones has been better than him.
Yeah,
I think he's their best centre back.
Yeah, I think he's their best centre back. Yeah, I think he's their best centre back. Yeah, facts.
You know what? I want to give another honourable mention now, and it's not just because of his run. I know he should have lifted it over the keeper, but Bentancur, right? I don't want him to make the same mistake as Kane and stay at Tottenham and have a trophy this career, because he's better than Spurs. He's actually a baller, and even when there's
he needs to control his temperament though, because
I don't think they completely bought him yet though.
No, they're gonna get him for 20 million.
I think they're gonna get him.
Yeah, but as soon as Conte goes back to Juventus, he's going with him.
Yeah, well,
because you know what it is. You know what it is.
He needs to control his temperament though. Like I feel like that is a weakness in his game. A big weakness in his
country. I've got, especially us English, right? When a player has been released from a big European club and they're still in their prime or just about entering their prime, we automatically write them off. Like straight away, everyone's calling Kulu and Bentancur flops just because Juventus released them. And sometimes it's other factors that could be a change of management, because I'm sure Bentancur was playing before Allegri rejoined.
But we said that a lot, innit? Like Henry was the same thing, innit? At Juventus, he didn't pull up any trees. He didn't pull up any trees.
Because we never watch them as well.
And that's what I'm saying, Jamie, because I'm not going to lie, when Kulu and Bentancur were there, I only watched them in Champions League games. I didn't watch the Italian league that league. I wasn't watching it then how I watch it now, put it like that.
You wasn't as aware, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't as aware. But I saw glimpses of them too. And when a lot of rival fans were saying, "Oh, Tottenham signed 2 rejects," I'm thinking. I even said to a few friends, "Be careful of that, because these two very players could be influential for Spurs, because they're not bad players. It's not gone well for them at Juve, but they're not bad players, and they've both proved it right." Bentancur, for me, forget the run. It's not just because of the run. I think again he was cool. You know, when we speak about Valverde, JJ, yeah, in the first game, I think he was the best player. Where today, it was more Bentancur to that mantle. Do you know what I mean? Not to say Valverde was poor, but if you compared him to the opening game, he wasn't how he was. Do you know what I mean? So it's not that Valverde was poor, but Bentancur, again, you're right, Jamie. Conte, we know, is probably going to dip at the end of the season. I don't think Bentancur will then stay, and I think a lot of big clubs will be a lot of big clubs will be sniffing around him.
100%.
Who goes through though? So Portugal are through, Ghana on 3, South Korea on 3, Uruguay.
You think Ghana? I honestly think Ghana.
Who got Ghana? They got Uruguay. So it's the match heavyweight.
Can't wait till someone 2 foots Nunes in the back of his leg. He's out.
No, we need Nunes. We need Nunes.
I don't care about Nunes. Like, listen, 2 foot him in the back.
Because he's the one who fucked Ghana up.
Nah, they all got to get. I like Suarez, man. Suarez is cool. Like he's alright.
I mean,
Suarez come on today with an attitude, didn't he? He's like, how dare you?
That's a role for him, though.
You hear the ovation he got when he came on? This
but
is
Suarez,
Uruguay, man. This is the king of Uruguay.
To be fair, Suarez actually looked more threatening than Darwin Nunes.
Yeah, I mean,
and Cavani put together.
But that's what I'm saying. Suarez doesn't have to be center of attention. You see how Suarez doesn't have to be the focal point of the game to still look like he's I mean, he doesn't have to get the ball to feet. He doesn't have to run at anyone. He just makes the right runs, and it's like, oh my god, look, he's about to score.
Anyone see Henry still playing at World Cups, by the way?
Pardon?
Anyone see Henry still playing at World Cups when he was the same age as Suarez? Just putting it out there. Yeah,
it's true. Henry, it's garbage, isn't it? But yeah, man. So I'm saying Ghana. What about yourselves? I'm saying Ghana go through.
I want Ghana to go through, but I've just got this feeling Uruguay going to nick it against Ghana in that game.
Even if Uruguay win,
they're through.
Goal difference, isn't it?
Hang on, let me just. I've got it out. Hang on. So Portugal has 6 points. No, South Korea and Uruguay got a point each.
Yeah.
Ghana got 3 points. So if Uruguay beat Ghana, they'll be on 4. Ghana will be on 3.
That's a must-win game for them.
And then you got. And what will Portugal do against South Korea? Will Portugal rest a few? Or I don't know.
That will then play into Ghana's hands, because Uruguay probably dominate the ball, but then Kudus on the counter. I actually think Ghana, I'll go as far as say Ghana win that game tightly, maybe a 1-0.
I think it'll be a game where Ghana will go into it potentially with the wrong attitude, because
too emotional.
Remember, they don't have to win. Any game that you don't have to win, you don't go into the game. Yeah, you can't always go into that. You're not going to go into the thinking, guys, like Uruguay going into this game, they have to win. There's no other result that works for them in this game. They have to win this game. So that might work in Ghana's favor, because as Romz said, Kudus on the, on the counter attack. Maybe Ghana sit back and then we kind of hit them. But I don't trust us against like a Nunes and a SWAT. Like I don't trust us against those kind of players.
And Ghana sit back though.
Say that again.
When Ghana play that way, sitting back.
Yeah,
well, we showed in the first half we can. We showed think about it was Portugal that we played against, right? And we sat back against Portugal. It was just like I said in that second half, that penalty that kind of ruined it. It just damaged everything.
But then I look at, for example, players like Uruguay are going to pose different types of threats. So, for example, but you can maybe say like a Bruno Fernandes, obviously because of the way that he's been playing. But I look at someone like a Valverde, him coming up against Ghana's midfield. Ghana are going to have to be very wary of trying to track him because he's going to be coming from a deeper position than, say, a Bernardo Silva, who's already in that attacking position but floats around. But Valverde's not coming from attack. He's coming from literally same position as Partey, but he's going to be up and down, to the side, to the left, to the right, whatever. Darwin Núñez is going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's going to be a quality game. But I'll tell you what, tomorrow, you thought today was good for football. Tomorrow's games are dead.
Yeah. And they're all at the same time, aren't they? There's that 2 games.
Because there can't be you have to be fair, don't you? So there's no team time wasting, let another team go through and things like that.
Oh, is that the reason?
It's like the final day of the season. It's like the final day of the Premier League season.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Because you're right. Because if they had it spaced out, it'll have effects. Yeah, no, I know. I mean, that's
just annoying because watching the games now can be difficult, isn't it? Like you can't.
Yeah, I mean, you got Ecuador and Senegal at 3:00 tomorrow, and then you got the Netherlands and Qatar at 3:00. And then
Ecuador, Senegal, it is.
Then the 7:00 game. Then the 7:00 games. You got Iran versus America, and you got England versus Wales. I'm going to be watching Iran versus America, man.
Yeah.
You know what? That actually might be an explosive game.
Yeah. I don't know if you can use the word explosive around America.
It'll be explosive. It'll be explosive until you hear, and there's a penalty for Wales. Bale! And then and Bell wins it and they get knocked out, innit? And England get knocked out. Then
I'd love England to get knocked out, and I'm English.
But cool, man. But before we head out, people, big up to everyone that's tuning in. We're going to read through the comments, go through the comments at the end. But let's just run through, obviously, the same thing that we do at the end of every show, which is player of the day, our goal of the day, and our team of the day. So, yeah. So let me start with this one because I actually don't start. My team, my player of the day today is I'm going to go Kudus. I think he came top trumps when we needed it. We needed him to. Yes, I am biased, but I do think he was immense today.
He's quality, man.
Yeah, he was quality. Yeah, I think my honourable mention, I will give it to Bentancur. I think Bentancur played really well, considering they did get beaten by Portugal, and I could easily say Bruno Fernandes, but I think Bentancur deserved a shout because I think he did step up a lot as well when there's nothing available. Like, he was running the left channel, running the right channel, coming deep to get the ball. He was everywhere. Goal of the day, Abu Bakr. 100%. Abu Bakr, that goal, I think, it's one of the goals of the tournament already. That flick was just, audacious, especially when they needed a goal as well. And my team of the day.
You can say it.
You know, like that. Just say it.
No, but I'm actually not going to say Ghana, though. I'm actually not going to say Ghana.
Right. I couldn't think of a better team, to be honest. No other team really that I expected. There was no shocks today. None.
Yeah, do they get it? Maybe Cameroon. I don't know, man. Maybe Cameroon, because I thought they were washed.
They are washed.
But but they still managed to they still kept it alive, innit? They've somehow kept it alive.
Cameroon just need to go back to the sleeveless tops.
Exactly, the one I had on stream the other day. Exactly, the one I had on stream the other day.
I ain't seen them kind of tops for years.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's mine. G, chat to us, man.
Kudus, player of the day, man. 100%, man. 2 goals, helped Ghana get the win. Honorable mention, I'm giving it Bruno. I thought, like, again, 2 goals again in the game that won them the game. Yeah, that's the most important thing. But Bentancur is definitely a good shout because he did play well for Uruguay. Goal, Abu Bakr, man. Like, you don't score lobs like that, and potential goal of the tournaments without being mentioned of thing. And team of the day is Ghana, man. Has to be Ghana, because for you to go 2-0 up, to come back to 2-2, I can only imagine the type of morale that it would have kind of potentially have set in. And remember, South Korea were in the ascendancy at that time. And I thought they were going to actually go on to win the game, to be honest, because they were the better team in large parts of that game. Watching it back, yeah, especially let's say, well,
even
the first
the score, even the commentator said they're totally against the run of play. So I even thought South Korea would end up winning the game as well.
The first 20 minutes of the game, it was all South Korea until Ghana scored. It was I didn't. They had like, I think they said it was 6 corners in the first 17 minutes of the game. But I thought, fucking hell, man, this is going to be a long one. But you know, Ghana were able to come back. Yeah, that's my points for the day. Romz, Jamie.
So my team of the day is going to be Portugal, because let's face it, they're in the knockout stages, so they're through, one game to spare. My player of the day is going to be Bruno, because he got them there. My honourable mention will go to, is it Cho, South Korea?
The goal scorer. Yeah.
I think I'll get my honourable mention because, getting a brace in a World Cup, it's not an easy thing to do. And he brought them back into the game when they were 2-0 down. So, yeah, no, that's my ones.
Cool. So, my goal of the day, I'm just going to say it straight, quickest. You and Jerry did enough credit for it, but was it that's how do you pronounce it? Abubakar?
Abubakar, yeah, he's got goals as well. Yeah.
I do think he meant it, but even the way he did it was just a bit weird. It
looked weird. Yeah, it did look weird.
Normally, you do that kind of, you kind of scoop the ball, but he did it with his instep. It was a bit weird, but that was still a goal day because you can see he meant it. My play of the day, he didn't get the goal, didn't get the assist, but Bernardo Silva, I was in awe. He just ran that game from start to finish. So my play of the day is Bernardo Silva. Honorable mention, Eder Militao, because I just think him at fullback, he was intercepting. There's a couple times, and this is where Jay was saying earlier, you've got to rate Brazil for being quite resolute and can't really break them down. But he was at sometimes the last man, or he was intercepting a lot. So my honorable mention, Militao. Play of the day, Bernardo Silva. Goal of the day, Abubakar. And I would say, I'm actually going to agree with Jerry. I'm going to say Cameroon team of the day because I think they did well to get back in that game. I thought at 3-1, especially scoring that third early in first half, I thought it was game, set, and match for Serbia, and they salvaged two goals in quick succession as well. So, yeah, man, that's my team of the day.
Yeah, man, 100%. Guys, let us know who you think your team of the day is in the comments. We've got Gio saying player of the day, Kudus, goal of the day, Abubakar, and team of the day, Portugal. Yeah, that's very, very fair, very fair. Co-op saying Kudus player of the day and Abubakar goal of the day, with Ghana being team of the day also. Yeah, I agree. Just run through some of the comments before we head out. Big up to everyone tuning in as well. And make sure you're smashing the like. Make sure you're commenting as well, letting us know your thoughts on the World Cup so far. Ravi saying, question, Jerry, should Jesus have started the game? Nah.
No.
He'll come to the ball too much. They need someone to stay away from play as much as possible.
Charlton works for the way this Brazil team wants to play.
Yeah.
He might not like it because I don't think it's great, but he works for the way they want to play. So you got to play. Yeah. You got to play the players in the right system, and when you don't, that's when you go wrong. So
exactly. Honestly, saying question for you guys: does Gareth Bale have a better football career than Neymar?
Certainly does. Certainly does. Not even lie about it.
No,
I don't.
Because his only career would be his little stint at Real Madrid, and Neymar's career spans from.
Well, would you say?
I'll be honest though, there's not a lot in it.
Would you say Gareth Bale at his best at Tottenham was better than Neymar at PSG?
But then that's not a fair comparison. Then you'd have to say Gareth Bale at his best, at Neymar at his best. Then no, it's
Bale still, yeah.
Well, I think I don't know. I think It depends. I would do it.
Bale's better.
PSG is difficult because that league is.
But that's what I said. You'd have to do.
You have to go there for the Champions League, for example.
You see the clip
that you posted, G. You know, there's the clip that you posted. Was that the Champions League semi-final? Was that the final?
Which one?
Was that Neymar one when he just ran the show in that game in the Champions
League? Yeah.
Semi-final,
the semi-final. So when I look at that, for me, in Bale's best game, that game he ran the whole show and it was Messi-esque, and I prefer those types of players as opposed to a player like
even
a Bale. That's just a personal opinion, but I do.
But Bale then did it against us in the final, didn't he?
Even the
didn't run the show. He got on the end of stuff, but he didn't run the show. Whereas Messi against
Champions League final goal I've ever seen.
He scored the goal, but he didn't run the show. That's what I'm saying. The goal.
I know. In that game, it's very noticeable until that goal.
You know what it is? Even the remontada, like Neymar, basically what made them come back. Like I know Roberto got the goal and the official goal to make them progress, but I think
he got that assist in it. Like he's the one that when Messi and Suarez are on the pitch, he took that free kick upon himself and scored the free kick. Do you know what I mean?
You know what it is?
I don't get it.
Let's be honest, right? Other than his last year at Spurs and for Wales, Bale's never really had pressure on him. Real Madrid, he didn't really have none at all because he's got the other Galacticos. Wales, he always has pressure and he has delivered. That's what I give him. Neymar on the international stage, that Copa America, he weren't in the squad. But I know Olympics isn't a major. I know you might roll your eyes, but it's in his country. Last penalty, it still is a high-pressured moment. In terms of what they won, I think trophy-wise, Bale was won. Actually, I don't know. I was going to say a bit more, but they might actually be level. But in terms of career, I don't think there's much in it. But I just feel if you actually have games in isolation, at big, high-magnitude games, I think Neymar's done a bit more. But
I think Bale was Brazilian. We'd all be saying Bale.
Say again?
But if Bale was Brazilian, we'd all be saying Bale.
No.
I don't get the Neymar stuff. I don't get it.
Do you have a Neymar agenda?
I don't really get the Bale
stuff. I don't have a Neymar agenda. I just don't think he's as good as everyone makes him out to be.
That's fair.
It's just, you know, it's just one of the things. Like with Bale, like I don't know, man. I always felt like what Romz, you just said it. Then I started to think back, and I was like, Bale was never a guy who, but yes, he had the 1 or 2 games like that you can maybe pinpoint, but outside of that, you barely noticed the guy. But he would get his goals and assists. Whereas Neymar, I felt like you noticed him a lot more.
I think Jerry said it, G. This is where you measure players. I don't watch basketball. I think you said it, Jerry. I'm the LeBron now. When you've had that pressure from young, let's be honest, Bale from Southampton and his first 3-4 years at Spurs, he was just any other guy in the team. It was only his last 18 months at Spurs where it's like, you're the main man now. You have to deliver week in, week out. Wales, he always does. Always had to. Actually, no, I wouldn't say he always had to, actually. When
near the end is when he went
near the end. It's what I mean. Neymar's always had that pressure. Obviously, I would say Neymar just.
For me, I just look at, when I look at footballers, that can't look at the little ones. No, but I look at footballers that do stuff that I'm like, that's out of this world. Like, as in players that have played football highlight, they can't do what this person's done. So the likes of your R9s, your Ronaldinhos, your Zidanes, your Bales, your Ronaldos, even with the goal record, they're not like the Maradonas, in my opinion. So when I'm looking at football and I look at, for example, games, Messi ran the show that game. Like he didn't, even if he didn't score or assist, you'd have looked at the game and be like, this guy was incredible. Like we said with Messi, whereas Bale's on the other side of the spectrum where a lot of the time he had to go and get the goal or get the ridiculous or the free kick or the assist. He's more in that Ronaldo category. And I think that's how I look at them. But
you know what these sort of debates are, yeah? There's no real right or wrong because everyone sees football differently. You know what I mean? We all see football differently. And then some people, because some fans are so like pro a player, they won't hear nothing bad against a player. So like with Neymar's one of them. So there's many, there's many of these players that are like Neymar out there who love Neymar so much. But when it comes to it, if you look at him and Bale, career versus career, Bale doing it for his international team when he's playing with Joe Allen behind him, you can put there as high as...
I do hear that.
As high as Neymar playing with the great Brazilians that he's in. You know what I mean?
One thing I would say is that Neymar. Yeah, but what I'd say exactly is Neymar in the World Cup at Brazil when he was 21 years old to do what he did before he got the injury and essentially.
Neymar was better as a younger player. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but I was saying, to carry that Brazil team whilst having the pressure since being 14 as being labelled as the next Pele, I think that's a different pressure than what Bell had at Wales, because
you are right.
Anything from Bell
in his country as well.
If Bell played for Brazil, he'd get a lot of stick. That's what he would get for not turning up to international duty, like you even said, like not turning up.
He never turns up for friendlies.
He'd get a lot of stick, so that's where.
Oh, if he was Brazilian, he'd turn up for friendlies. No,
I don't think.
Would you turn up for a friendly if Joe Allen was your, and all that was your roommate?
Yeah, maybe.
What do you mean not turning up for international duty?
Bale, sometimes like when there was that Nation League.
No, he
don't turn up, man. He goes golf, don't he?
Yeah. Gio saying Payet was at West Ham Payet was at West Ham and looked like a Galactico compared to his teammates. Declan looks quality. Paqueta looking like Al-Dawazi. Oh, Jesus. Carp saying, hello, John. Let Paqueta go. Lad, not worth the stocks. Angel 96 saying Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Rivaldo, Roberto Carlos, Cafu. These guys make this team look bang average. That's a fair comment. Gio saying Rafinha would eat at Arsenal. If we kept up, we keep on. Yeah, maybe. Gary Richards saying tally ho, 3 goals, 6 points, no goals conceded. Looks like steady sailing for Brazil. Yeah, it is looking. I mean, they're looking solid. Carp saying, "Ish, I wasn't familiar with your game."
That could have been about anything.
It's near enough honestly saying Shabalala goal, that moment is goated, and the celebration. Yeah, South Africa's opening goal was crazy. That goal was that ball made everything better, innit? Just the Jabulani, the way it moved. Now, honestly, then saying nah, Nketiah can't lace Iñaki Williams' boots. That brother is a don for Bilbao. Plus, he is never injured. Don't disrespect men like that. Kendall saying Nico is better than Iñaki. John saying, ironically, could have scored against Liverpool at Anfield. Taki did the same. You see where I'm going with this.
I'm seeing, as we're on the show, Jamie said it, and I'm seeing all my notifications where we've now entered the race. Of course we have.
Of course we have, innit? Of course we have. Kendall saying, no way, G said walking hype. That's in regards to Iñaki Williams' parents.
How can I say man, everyone?
C1 London saying Henderson Rice pivot.
Yeah, that's apparently tomorrow.
Co-op saying Mbambali somewhere, ain't that Senegal big man? Where Mane from?
Oh, that's where you said you were like, when he was 10 years old.
I'll be back on, innit? Yeah, I mean that's just something. He's 10 years old in Mbambali, the jelly flip flops, and you just went, you know what I mean? That was just standard, you know, like that. Ravi saying, question for the panel: is Lewandowski still a big game player?
Nope.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, you can't. He's got too many goals.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got too many, man. I don't count these tournaments as like
exactly. Like I can't compare what he's done for Poland, innit? Like that.
No, he's not got a chance for Poland.
He ain't got a chance.
For Bayern Munich.
For Bayern Munich, and look, if the amount of goals he's scored,
Dortmund,
and he's not a purple patch player. He's not a
purple patch. He's one of the greats of his generation. No doubt.
So yeah, I would say he is. Yeah. Ravi saying, Jerry questions, is it time Germany move on from Neuer after the World Cup?
Yeah, man, it got to be binned, man.
I mean, but who they bring in?
I think he's still good, though. I think he's still top 5 in the world. That's the thing. Is that like?
I think Ter Stegen's better than Neuer right now.
They have 3 wicked keepers at the same time, innit? I think was it Trapp, Ter Stegen, and
Trapp's decent as well. Yeah, they got some keepers, you know, but
goalkeepers. They ain't got no Manuel Neuer though. Like no one.
But like Manuel Neuer is one of the greats, ain't he? And it's hard to replace.
And he made a mad. I know they lost the game against Japan, but he made a mad save in that game.
And apparently he's got illness issues as well at the moment, ain't he? So.
But he's just obviously a ridiculous keeper. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he started this whole.
Even now when he gets the ball, and the ball's on the bounce, and he first time passes it over into the left back, like just the pass, and Still really, really
Speak about composure earlier. He has that in abundance.
Yeah. Well, he started his tweet with keeper stuff, didn't he?
Yeah. He was the originator for me. That like without him, no one else is trying to do anything else.
No.
Exactly.
Great at the game. Great at the game.
Exactly. Gio saying GTV wouldn't mind if Nunes got released out of his contract.
I prefer not to speak. If I do, I'm in big trouble. So
Oh man. Mizzy, big up to yourself. Hope you're doing well. Let us know when you're over there in Qatar as well. I know you're lined up. Entom is saying credit to Ghana for the grit and determination to win. Great spectacle.
Who I'm saying, Entom Mizzy, who's that left back though? Like, chat to me. Who is that left back? Because that left back was moving crazy in that game. Sure. What I'm saying, Simicas, I'm hearing a lot of rumors about you going to Juve and that. Like, maybe this left back wants to make his way down there.
I'll drive him to Juventus now.
Oh yeah.
Klopp saying Victor Valdez started sweeper keeper in his opinion.
I think Neuer was before Valdez though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like Neuer was
doing it in that Schalke. He was doing that.
Yeah,
Valdez was doing it. Valdez was doing it for Pep, so everyone thinks Pep started it.
Yeah,
but Neuer did it.
Exactly. And let's put it this way: Victor Valdez was dead, super dead, but he was just so lucky.
He's glorified. He just had that pen in front of him. That
Who
was
did
just
Valdez go to in England? Who did Valdez go to in England?
Manchester United.
That's it. He went to Man United as well, didn't he?
He did. He was at United.
But I swear he's at PK. He was at United before he went Barca. I swear.
No, he went as an older, like after Barca.
When he finished, when he finished that thing,
I swear.
And he was second in command to De Gea, innit? Yeah.
Wait, when was this?
So let Romero go, didn't they? Got him in.
Bro, I forgot. You know, some things you forget, even if they're recent. That completely went over my head. I knew he went.
Bro, he didn't play. So you definitely
I never thought he was a good goalkeeper.
Remember when they had Aitor Karanka and they had Ayala. They had that Spanish kind of contingent. I remember him being Middlesbrough, but bro,
did anyone actually think he was a good goalkeeper? Because I never did.
He was decent.
Okay,
like he was just saying. No, he was. I think he was. I'll go as far as to say he was actually poor. Not poor.
Yeah.
He just played in one of the greatest international teams we've ever seen.
Yeah.
So he never
don't you think they would have just gotten a better keeper then? Like he must have been somewhat good.
He had that sweeper keeper skill.
They kept the ball so much.
It's that. That's why I give it. That's why I give it to him. I'm like, he was actually decent. Like he wasn't the best like shot stopper, but in terms of allowing them to play, they wanted to play. Like
Rayner's another one as well. He was a decent sweeper keeper as well.
Yeah, Rayner as well. Yeah, really, really good. But guys, it's been another World Cup show. It's been a long one today, a long one, a lot to get through, a lot of topics went overboard.
Someone called me the heel of the group, by the way. Someone called me the heel of the group in the comments earlier.
The heel of the group, no Jesus.
Okay,
I'll take it.
Exactly. You've got to take it as a compliment. That's all, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, big up to everyone that's tuning in. G, Jamie, Romz, as always. It's obviously a pleasure. Jamie, let them know about any watch alongs tomorrow.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What are you going to do?
Man, I'm probably going to do. Look, I've probably got to do the England Wales game because you know I've got English blood, unfortunately. So I've got to do the England Wales game. But if Wales win that game, if I see a midfield of Mount, Henderson, and Declan Rice tomorrow, it's over. If I don't see Trent touching pitch, because I'm sick of this Trippier, we've tried it now, it's crap. We need creativity. If I don't see a Foden and a Trent and players like this playing tomorrow, I'll give up on this England team. If Foden can't play the third game of this group stage and Mason Mount's still playing, and if Henderson's coming in for Bellingham, then yeah, I might throw my computer out the window. It's just, I've had enough, man. But yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow. So everyone come and watch for the me absolutely going mad on this England performance because I know what's going to happen straight away.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to hear that or like
it's going to be 4. It's going to be a 4-4-2 basically, or a 4-4-1-1, and it's going to be that slow pass at the back from Maguire and Stones to the fullbacks who go upfield, give it to man, who then gives it to Harry Kane for some reasons in the deepest position possible. Goes to Saka. Saka runs into a player because that's what he does, and then that's it. And then that's it. And then it all breaks down, and then Saka will get a lucky goal followed by Sterling. and it'll just carry on from there. And then everyone will go over. Oh, great performance by England yet again. No, shut up. I've had enough. Dead to me. Dead to me.
And there we go, Jamie, man of the match today. Man of the match. But yeah, big up to everyone as always. Make sure if you're catching this on the repeat, you're smashing the like and sharing it as well. If you want to even clip us up. If I said something mad, clip me up. Put it in the ether. Let's have a debate about it.
My clips would be off the scale then, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, man, that's what I'm saying. Just the clips up with it. But yeah, it's been the World Cup show and we're out, people. Have a good night, man.
Big up.
Boom.